Here we are. Hello, CFA Nation. Gabe and Asja. There we go. Cricket First 2.0. I love the shirt too, by the way. Didn't notice it. Nice, nice. You didn't get the 2.0 on there, though. You didn't get the 2.0.
It's the logo. It's all right. It's really, really small just down here, but it's all good.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Guys, thanks so much for joining. What's going on? And I tell you right now, man, I'm super excited. Got Manav. There we go. What's up, Manav? What's going on? What's up, Sip? What's going on? Vendel, Shivam. And let me see. Will it show live stream comments? Show up on streamer. This is an example. Click on the comment. Blah, blah. All right, there we go. What's going on, guys? We're excited. A little bit of a delay. Let's go, Wendy's. Man, I was actually impressed by Pakistan's win yesterday. You know what I mean? And, you know, the West Indies is a team, and I've noticed this in all the T20s I've seen. You know, they either, you know, go big or it's a struggle, man. And, you know, sometimes they play. You didn't expect, what was it, one run to be scored, and what was it, like 3 overs, something crazy like that? Oh, yeah, so many dot balls. 19 dot balls yesterday by who was it? Hafiz. That's Muhammad Hafiz was amazing. You got to give him credit, and you tip your cap. You know what I mean? Again, Pakistan, we've known for a while their bowling is strong. That's why I'd have more faith in their test team than in their ODI or even T20 team, because in test, man, again, that bowling attack is nasty, and you know they just don't have the explosiveness to put up a big 180 or 200 score. I haven't seen it, but look at Renil. What's up, Renil?
She said it yesterday as well. She said if Gabe's gonna stream, we're gonna lose. Manav's asking, what's the series score? At the moment, it's 1-0. There's 2 games left, so still up in the air of who can potentially win the series. Hello,
right,
everyone.
The first game was canceled due to weather or something like that, right?
Yeah. It was a 9-over match, but only the first innings happened, and then the second innings it was raining too hard, so then they just abandoned ship.
Yes, I do know that minor league cricket has started here in the U.S. It just started yesterday, the 31st, and I'm like, oh, it's brutal because we got school coming up, but Nick and I want to catch a game. But this weekend is super busy because for those of you that follow international football, the Gold Cup is being played here in Las Vegas at Raider Stadium. So It is absolutely packed in town. USA versus Mexico, which is tough for me because I root for USA, but my wife is Mexican, her whole family's Mexican, so I'm rooting for both teams.
You support Mexico, Gabe. That's what you do.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? I've taken a summer after school finished to get in the gym and get healthy, man. You
look
yeah, man, working out again, trying to get in shape. When the school year starts, man, it's tough because my schedule is so over the place, but I wanted to do it just for health reasons, man. And again, that COVID is no joke. Definitely. I know. Renil, it's all love. Yeah, but Babar Azam did well yesterday. I mean, we did get to see, and I was happy. I caught the tail end of it. I had actually finished from a workout, and I jumped on your live stream, and I was in the comments. I know I was on a live stream, but I was in the comments, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Nicholas Puran, Fitty Cash. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Woo. Honestly, that was heart-wrenching stuff as a Pakistan fan. They needed, like 70 runs of the last 5, and Puran's like, yeah, now I'm going to start playing. Hits, 20 runs of 1 over, then 15 of the next, and then just completely sets the game up. Apart that last over, yes, West Indies needed 20 runs to win, but it still seemed possible while Nicholas Puran was doing Puranian things, right?
If you think about it, which never happens. Pollard came in, he got a run, a dot ball, another dot ball, and then lost his wicket. Even if you score 2 on each one of those, you force a super over. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if in those 3 balls you get a 6, you force a super over. So for sure, it was like oh, what is going on? And you know, it happens. But I'm super happy, yes, that Perron is back in form, and it takes a while, man. What's up, Gabe fan? What's going on? Kale Raul, Hamiz. But the game's been delayed due to rain. You know, you don't really hear that too often unless we're talking about England. And I was like, wait, am I streaming an English game? Are we at Lords? You know what I mean? But you know, you do get a little bit. You get some rain in the West Indies, especially this time of year. And we've got some changes. You want to go over the changes, Ajat?
Yeah, sure. So because of what happened yesterday, Evan Lewis got hit in the ribs, so he's out. And Andre Russell comes into the side. So finally, Chris Gale is opening for the West Indies after I don't know how long. So Chris Gale is opening with Andre Fletcher, and everyone's batting position kind of just moves up a slot for this game. And then Andre Russell fits in the middle. And for Pakistan, I believe they've brought in Haris Rauf. And probably Mohammad Wasim Jr. did not have a good time yesterday, which was very disappointing from the Pakistani front. So Mohammad Wasim is actually playing. Forget that. Shaheen Afridi's been rested. What? Sorry, I just read that. Shaheen Afridi, the best bowler Pakistan has been rested, but he's been in and out. He's been in the side for so long now, and there's so much pressure on him to perform every game. You can definitely see that he's wearing thin, and because the T20 World Cup's coming up in October, Pakistan need him to be in the best possible shape of his life. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. So that's why they've rested him and brought back Haris Rauf, who's quick, but very, very inconsistent with his line and lengths. And I know you're supporting the West Indies, so I'm happy from your end because Haris Rauf is playing. That means you're going to get some easy boundaries every over.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what is going on? It's very very interesting, my friend. Very interesting.
So I'm just waiting. So let's see if, you know, because they're just about to come down to the track. So West Indies have won the toss, by the way. Won the toss, elected to bat. It's going to be Fletcher and Gale to open. Because there's no Shaheen Afridi, I have a feeling they're going to open with Hafiz again, and then Mohammad Wasim Jr., because Hassan Ali and Haris Rauf are not the best opening bowlers. So I've got that idea in my head, and hopefully Pakistan follow the same direction. And I've just got all the players right now just kneeling for support kind of thing. I don't know if you're at that point at the moment or not.
Yeah. I'm watching it right now.
All right,
you got Gale Storm. Everybody's getting up right now. You know what I mean? They're just again expressing their support for social justice around the planet. And you know, I love the fact that these athletes feel that they can do that. Ooh, Andre Fletcher. It looks like Andre Fletcher cut his hair, man. It looks like he cut his hair.
Yeah, he's going old school Andre Fletcher, because you remember in the Big Bash he had pretty cool hair, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember Andre Fletcher, man, in a CPL, man. He was a monster. Yeah. And this guy can play.
Definitely can. And the thing is, yesterday we saw him get out to a really good delivery. He played completely around it and got bowled. So maybe today he's looking to take the attack to Hafiz rather than trying to defend Hafiz, I think. But let's see. It's the first ball's coming up soon on my end.
I am not watching the Trent Rockets game right now. I will be checking in on the score, but I've got to support my West Indies here since we took a loss game one, although I did not live stream it. So that technically is not on me, people. And I only caught the end. Oh, and Andre Fletcher starts right. Hold that, cousin. Hold that.
He had to attack. We saw yesterday he can't defend against spin. He has to attack, and that's the way he plays. That 6 over mid-wicket. What a shot. Hafiz did not expect that. Did not expect it. I did. We did. But
well, I was concerned because you said that yesterday he played around the ball, and very first ball, you saw him defend, and I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, don't wait too long. I don't want to see another, what was it, 3 over? It was like 3 or 4 overs. I think they scored like 1 run or 6. No, go out and attack.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Fletcher can do that, and obviously you got the universe boss at the other end who can also do that over and over again for many years to come at the way he's playing, honestly. I was waiting for a comment where someone said Hafiz chucks the ball. he doesn't extend it, and I've got it. So thank you, Siddhartha. I really appreciate that comment. Love it. There's a couple of comments I wanted to just quickly go through. Gabe, one was about Lewis is out. Yep, Fletcher is in the side. And then a lot of people saying hello to yourself and myself. And
what's up? Oh, there's another run.
Oh, that's a quick run there. I think that's a single because Gale does not want to take twos. But if it was anyone else, I'm sure that would have been 2 runs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that with Gale running, bro. That's a single. The universe boss doesn't run, bro. He takes his time.
Imagine this: Hafiz yesterday went for 6 runs in 4 overs, and today he's gone for 7 in 3 balls. Also, there's a super chat from Jihan.
What's up, Dr. Jihan? And I saw this, and I was thinking about doing a cricket combos on the whole Ben Stokes situation, and I'm waiting for Nick. Nick's out of town right now, because I think it's a good topic to pick. You know what I mean? See how fans feel about this. But, bro, it's to answer your question. Predictions for India, England series. Ben Stokes is out, gives India a chance, or are Broad Anderson with a Duke ball going to be too much for India? I tell you right now. Oh, bad fielding. Oh, that's got to drive you crazy as a Pakistan fan. Because that's a chance. The way Gale runs, that's a chance for a run out there. You know what I mean? It's so bad. But anyway.
I'd actually say that's okay because at least it didn't go to the boundary. That's
okay, that's a good point.
Expectations, Gabe.
Oh, that's hilarious. He said, just don't let it turn into a boundary. But I think England will miss Jihan, Stokes, and they're gonna miss Archer's still out. Somebody mentions in the comments, and it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Here's the thing: what are those pitches gonna look like? Because there's been, even though it's in England, right? There's supposedly a big drought out there, so these pitches have been spinning. You saw Lords the other day, man. The pitches were spinning, so the tracks are turning. They're really dried up. You know, that's a kind of pitch that India will thrive on. So it really depends on the pitch. I think it does give India a chance to win the series.
Interesting. I'll tell you this: it has been raining quite a lot over the past week now as well. So it's probably gonna rain the next couple of days as well. Especially around the Nottingham area, where the first match is. I'm pretty sure it is. So in Nottingham, I have a feeling it's not going to spin as much, but India might actually go with 2 spinners. But go at Lords, it seems unlikely for them to go with 2 spinners because Lords, after it's rained and stuff, yes, later down in the match, maybe 4th, 5th day, it's going to spin. But the first 3 days is going to be really, really beneficial to seamers specifically. So but again, I'm going 3-2 India. I said this before. I think India's going to win, especially now that Stokes isn't in the side. I think India's going to win the series.
I love this right here. I think the pitch will look like a garden.
Chennai pitch, isn't it?
Bro, it's like England can just order rain on demand. Oh, what? We need rain, no problem. Let me dial up with 1-800 number. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out.
Oh,
let's go, Fletch.
That's going for 6.
Let's go, Fletch. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to answer this question here by Shahai. Says, Asjad, you look upset and angry these days. What's going on? He's a father, okay? He doesn't get sleep anymore. I can answer that question. They should have told you, there should be an instruction manual when babies come that says, you're not sleeping for the next 18 years, cousin. All right? Period. I'm telling you.
Very well put, Gabe. I'm going to go for that, but I didn't know I was looking upset, so I'll make sure I change a bit. By the way, that rain has just gone monstrous, hasn't it?
Oh, come on.
We're on.
It's all right, though. The Caribbean is much like Florida here in America. The rain just passes through, usually. You
know what? With the start West Indies had, I'm happy with a rain delay.
I'm sure you are.
Oh, man. But it's good. It's good to see Gale opening. I'm very happy about that because Gale, that's his genuine position, isn't it? And kind of trying to fit him in that number 3 spot. yes, he's done all right, but I think opening up is probably the best choice for Gale. But there's no Lendl Simmons. He was injured in the first game. Then Evan Lewis was injured in the second game. And Pollard said at the beginning of the game, said, we're just in that situation where our openers keep getting hit. Let's hope these openers don't get hit. And they stay fit enough. And yeah, that's raining like crazy. Honestly, that's raining super, super fast out.
Bro, but it's like that. I remember in the Dominican Republic, same thing, man. Summertime, like the rain would come through just enough to get everybody to run inside, ruin your afternoon, and then bright skies again. Like, are you kidding me? And
Smithy says, with Gabe's luck, the rain will stay for the whole match.
So here's an interesting thing. They got Sherman Hitmeyer in at 3. Now, I think that Hitmeyer, for me, is a guy I would drop lower because he can do damage really quickly. But the way he plays, sometimes he'll throw away his wicket, which is fine. You know what I mean? I don't care. If you're going to give me 20 on 6 balls, you know what I'm saying? That you did your job. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go out there and hit it, cousin. But do you think he's a number 3? And I know it's because of injuries or whatnot, but do you think he can play those consistent innings long enough? Or do you like...
I think out of that team, if you got Pooran, you got Russell, you got Pollard, you got Bravo, right? He's probably the one that I would bank on being able to stay there longer while defending at the same time, if you know what I mean. So, yes, Hitmeyer is more of a dash type of player, but he's got the game to be able to survive that. So does Nicholas Pooran, but I've seen Hitmeyer do it more. If you try and remember, for Delhi Capitals, he's played a few games for DC where he has stayed at the crease quite long, and they've brought him in at number 3 or number 4. So I would say I'm happier with Hitmeyer being at 3 rather than someone like Pooran or Pollard or Russell or anyone like that. But if Simmons and Lewis and all those were fit, then obviously Hitmeyer would be earliest at 4, maybe 5. Maybe
that's
5.
What I'm saying. When we got the normal lineup, if you had Lewis there, are they back already? Or is this?
Nah, this is highlights.
Oh, this is highlights. I was like, wow, are they back already? No way.
This highlights from yesterday's game.
Same goes for Narayan, franchise player, hitting at one special. Okay. And I'm just thinking what's going to be the actual lineup though, because when you're talking about playing 11, did I say 9? I'm always thinking baseball. And then when I'm talking to people about baseball, my friends or whatever we're watching, I'll use cricket terms. It's so funny. They're like, what? But at this point,
sorry, what?
Yeah, at this point they already know. You know what I'm saying? That I watch cricket, I stream cricket. So, but it's funny. And actually, I'm thinking about taking a group of people, man, Azjad, because it's in LA now. Yeah. Again, Nick and I. It's the good thing is that it's on the weekends or whatnot. The games are going to be on the weekends. The bad thing is we got to squeeze it in quick because it's only till September, I was reading. So I'm going to try to get our games, which I believe the closest one to us is in LA. I don't like to go to LA by myself, cuz just saying. So just being real. So I'll try to take my brothers and a whole bunch of people, but I'm probably going to do a blog on it.
By the way, Jaden says West Indies winning today and Tuesday. I love the positive approach. I would back that. I would say West Indies, obviously it's at home and stuff. I thought Pakistan would win maybe one game, even when it was a 5-match series, then it became a 4-match series. I was like, yeah, there's no way Pakistan's winning the series, but it does seem more likely that West Indies, with the way Fletcher has come out to bat today, with Pakistan not having Shaheen Afridi and making some interesting calls with their side, it does look more likely that Pakistan's going to win. On your point there, if the matches are in LA, are you thinking of doing like a vlog, or are you thinking about doing a live stream from the stadium? What are you thinking?
I don't know, man, because here's the thing. I'm not sure how tight, like for real, they'll be with the security. And because if you go to stadiums and you try to like stream on your phone or whatever a game, they'll come and take your phone and kick you out. So
really?
Quick. Wow. Here in the States, they won't mess around. So if I like do a vlog or whatever and like, do quick video edits or whatnot, and you know what I mean, I might live stream as we're walking in real quick, do like a quick, maybe not a TikTok, but something real quick. But
a vlog would be nice.
For the whole thing, yeah. Somebody said, who am I going to root for? I got to root for a West Coast team. especially a team in California, because it's closer and it'll be our market here. So if you if you support the local teams or whatnot, it'll be easier for us to actually get those games on television and get tickets and go to them. So I'm probably going to pick a West Coast team. Yeah. While we're waiting, let me see if I could pull up the site so that I can see, because I saw we got some West Indies playing. Rakeem Cornwall's playing, right?
Yeah, Cornwall's playing. You've got some Sri Lankans there. You've got Indians. You've got Pakistanis. You've got New Zealand players. So yeah, you've got all over the world. You've got some players. So yeah, Rakeem Cornwall's playing for the Atlanta Fire, as well as Corn Dry is also playing for the Atlanta Fire. And the one Pakistani I know of, Samia Aslami, is playing for the Golden State Grizzlies. It's a western side of the U.S. kind of team. I don't know what county or state that belongs to, but it's called Golden State Grizzlies. So
Golden State Grizzlies, that's going to be probably in San Francisco, because all the Golden State Warriors, the Golden State San Francisco. So, or Oakland area, they're actually, people don't realize they're like across the bridge from each other. So yeah, Oakland, San Francisco is like literally right across the. Where are they playing? Are they playing at Raider Stadium, the Golden State Grizzlies?
Oof, I've got to check this, because for some reason, well, I know why. Maybe they don't. Maybe Cricinfo doesn't look at the MLC as like the big series or anything, so they don't have much information on Cricinfo about it. So I'm just checking their genuine website, the minor league cricket website. And let me just see if there's anything on the USA Cricket. It is on Willow, by the way, on Willow's YouTube channel. I know that much.
Is it going to be on Willow or Willow's YouTube channel?
It was on Willow's YouTube channel yesterday. Can't remember who it was. I watched that game just a little bit. And yes, the Trent Rockets are getting smashed. Yes, you're right. It's 104 for 2. Yeah, Birmingham Phoenix. Finn Allen, 40 of 20. And who else? And it was Will Smead and Muin Ali with 26 of 17. So, yeah, they're going crazy against the Trent Rockets today.
Man, Muin Ali is so good. So here's the minor league cricket 2021 schedule. 2017 teams, 21 cities, 1 champion. It's super impressive that they've done it. And literally, it ends in September 19th. So basically the month of August and then all of September. So it's going to be super quick, fast pace. Let me see something.
So I'm just checking if the Grizzlies, where they're playing, and they're playing all over. They're playing all over, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but they're playing all over the country. Grizzlies. Can't even find their team. It's outrageous. Yeah, okay. So Woodley Park is their game against SoCal Lashings. Is that Woodley Park?
Yeah.
Don't know where that is. My American knowledge is absolutely horrendous. So places in the States, I got to listen to you, Gabe, about where things are, because I genuinely have no clue. Where are Golden? Are they playing at home? I think the Grizzlies aren't playing at home anytime soon.
Okay.
They're playing away, yeah. Woodley Park.
So interesting. San Diego Surf Riders, are they playing 2 games in one day?
I think they're playing 2 games. Well, they're different timing, isn't it? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, they're playing Hollywood Master Blasters. That's the LA team. So I'll probably root with Hollywood Master Blasters. Nick will probably go with San Diego Surf just because whatever. And
then they're playing SoCal Lashing straight after.
Ooh, they got the New Jersey Stallions, the Manhattan Yorkers. That's my state, New York. The Empire State Titans. Ooh.
I must say the names are outrageously awesome. They're like very, very, how do I put this? Very like Americanized, big sort of names. So like the Golden State as an example, or the Warriors and things like that. So
right.
I saw a bit of the game yesterday, and the ground didn't look too good, though, I must say.
I'm sure these grounds don't look too good.
Not ideal.
He's like, it's not ideal.
There we go. Man, I've said that. Muhammad Stan says Azjad Hamad Azam is also playing for. All right, okay. So 2 Pakistanis in one team. Obviously, I'm going to root for them then. All right.
What team is that?
It's Golden State Grizzlies. That's they've got 2 ex-Pakistani players. So let's hope that goes well for them. But yeah, there's quite a few international players who are playing this league, which is loads of fun. Glad about that. There's a question about Turning Point, by the way, Gabe. This is for both of us. What is your West Indies T20 11 for the T20 World Cup?
Oh wow!
Right, I can go first, and all I'm gonna say is they have to open with Lewis and Simmons, and then have Gale. I don't know if order, but I think into the 11, these 3 need to be somewhere in the top 3. Then yep.
I'm gonna give you mine because I don't want you influencing me. All right, I don't want you influencing me, and you're more knowledgeable. But all right, I'm actually gonna open up with. I'm probably gonna open up with Simmons and Gale, and then push Fletcher to 3. Oh, it's so tough, man. Nicholas Perron probably at 4. I mean, he's so hot right now. He's got to be in the side. Perron at 4. Russell at 5. Pollard at 6 or 7. You know what though? Because I'm thinking about because we're gonna have Jason Holder as our all-rounder. I'm just thinking, how many bowlers are we gonna go with? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Andre Fletcher. Why? I love Andre Fletcher, the Spice Man. Come on, guys. He's a dog. Yes, I play Fletcher over Hitmeyer. I knew I was gonna get flack over it. I knew I was gonna get Fletcher flack over it. Then probably at 7 Holder. You gotta go with Holder. And then you round it off with the bowlers are gonna be Hossein. I'm stuck here, man.
You could go with, Cottrell, you've got McCoy, you've got Edwards, you got Joseph, maybe Thomas.
Azari Joseph, yeah, I'm thinking Joseph, but I'm thinking about spinners. Are we gonna go with 2 spinners or not?
You have to go minimum 2 spinners, right?
Gotta go with 2 spinners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going with. Fabian Allen is a must in the side. Who are you replacing? Are you really gonna leave Jason Holder off? He's an all-rounder. What do you think? And I'm getting killed here in the comments. Wow. Everybody's like, no, Narayan. That's what I'm saying. You need 2 spinners. So Narayan will be one of my bowlers down there, along with that's what I was asking. Do you go with 1 or 2?
Right.
How do you miss Captain Campbell? Stop it. Stop it. All right. Man. What do you think, guys? I'm loving it. I'm getting killed here.
Right. Okay. So I'd actually open with, let's say, Lewis, then Simmons, then Gale. Then this is where it gets interesting. I would actually go with Hetmeyer, Puran, Russell, Pollard, and I'm probably not going to have Jason Holder at least starting off. I'm not going to have Jason Holder. I'll have Fabian Allen in the side. I'll have Hayden Walsh Jr. I'll have Dwayne Bravo. I'll have Obed McCoy. I think I've got too many batsmen there.
You got too many batsmen, cousin. Where's your bowling?
I'm going to kick out Hetmeyer.
Thank you. Hetmeyer can't be in the side. Yeah. You got too many batsmen in there.
If I have to take someone out, I have to take Hetmeyer out. So I take Hetmeyer out, and then I'll make a judgment call on, do I bring in Akil Hussain or what's his name? Fiddle Edwards. So that's going to be my kind of decision, or Jason Holder. One of those 3 would be my change-ups.
Right.
Because yesterday we were talking about this, and I was kind of coerced into thinking that, I should go with Akil Hussain and Hayden Walsh Jr. But Fabian Allen, because of what he offers with the bat and what he does in the field, dude is definitely a necessity in the UAE. I'm not reading the comments yet, but that's the kind of team I'm going for.
I'm reading the Hitmeyer is currently better than Gale. Guys, Gale did not come back to sit down. I can guarantee you anything, Gale is playing.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you anything, Gale is playing. The bowling is up in the air. I know Bravo will be in there for sure.
100%.
And I know Renell's gonna kill me. I think they got to go with the experience of Sunil Narayan, but
I just saw a comment from Laughter Express. His team is very similar to what I initially said, but the only change that I would make, based on the fact that that's way too many batsmen, right? I would say, okay, take Hetmyer out and bring in a bowler. Otherwise, that team does not look too shabby. So if you go back, I think he wrote it about a minute ago. It's Lewis, Gale, Simmons, right, in the top 3.
Who said it?
And Laughter Express. Right
here.
Yeah. So that team to me is probably the most well-rounded. Maybe,
Simmons.
Again, take Hetmyer out, put Holder, Edwards, whoever in. But that team is what I initially said, and I would be happy if they start off with that. I think that's a pretty decent side.
What about Carlos Brathwaite? Remember the name. No. I know. I don't think he makes the side. I'm like, it's tough, bro.
You have Jason Holder. You've got someone who's better at almost every facet of the game compared to someone like Carlos Brathwaite. Yes, he is Remember the Name from 2016, but even then I was shocked that he was in the West Indies lineup and then he played a gem of a knock to win them the World Cup. Barring that, I don't see Brathwaite coming into the side.
And that's why I'm glad that Gale is here now, because he's got to get back in form, because he hasn't been in form. You're right. But guess what? Neither was Perron. We know what these guys can do. We know their pedigree. And again, Gale didn't come out of retirement not to play. All right. Yeah. They're going to play Gale, guaranteed. But
the Blast and the 100, yes, Carlos Brathwaite's doing great. But where are both of those tournaments? They're in the UK. It's a different kettle of fish if you're playing it in the UAE. That's how I see it. But again, I love the different varying opinions on in the chat. It's really cool. How can you miss Hetmyer? Did you see him in the IPL? That was in the UAE as well. Yes, he scored runs, but that was because the top order wasn't working as well, wasn't it? But you can correct me there. But what I remember is Hetmyer is a great option. Right. But he's not in my starting 11 if I am going with Edwards or Holder or Hussain.
Here's the biggest thing for Hetmyer. Somebody put it right here. All right. West Indies will not survive in the UAE T20 because they can't play spinners. Hetmyer destroys spinners. He destroys spinners. So maybe that alone gets him in. But if you put Hetmyer in, you're taking out somebody. That is one of the toughest decisions any selection board has to make.
So what happens in that instance? I think they go with Bravo, McCoy, and Russell as their main 3 pace bowlers, and then Pollard bowls a couple of dibbly-doublies or whatever he does, right? And then we've got 2 spinners of Hayden Walsh Jr. and Fabian Allen. That's a pretty solid side.
You know what?
Can bowl, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but Lendl Simmons used to bowl quite a bit back in the day. He doesn't bowl that much anymore. Chris Gale can bowl. Come on, Chris Gale can bowl.
Get out of here.
He's got a ball at least it over. It's spinning conditions.
Oh, come on. Chris Gale's not going anywhere near that. I'm just thinking right now, this is a tough decision. I mean, that's the thing that is going to be interesting about how they balance this team out. But you can't sacrifice your bowling at the expense of your batting. Your batting's going to do what it does. Everybody, they're interchangeable, but your bowling has to be there. And I think that because there's spinning conditions in the UAE, you need 2 spinners, right? You got to have 2 spinners in there. And I'm probably going with 4 bowlers and an all-rounder, man. That's just my opinion. And I know that's going to maybe take away a little bit of the batting, but I think that if you do that, your top 7, even your top 6 should be enough to score enough runs. All right. You shouldn't have to count on the bottom, even though, guys like Bravo can score, guys like Holder can score, or you know what? Maybe you do replace Holder with Walsh Jr. You know what I'm saying? But you can't leave yourself limited in bowling.
Good. I'm just reading some of the comments. And Boomer's comment: Gale can bowl, but his bowling is trash. Like that is almost to the point. But the thing is, if he doesn't bowl that much, if he bowls one over here and there, that could be one of those overs that don't go for too many runs, right? His economy in T20s apparently is less than 7.
Wow.
Yes, which I'm absolutely shocked by, which I didn't know.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
7. I'll take 7. By the way, the rain, apparently, no update from the ground, so we're safe to assume the weather has yet to clear up. So it's still raining quite a lot. Do you want to watch the 100 or something, Gabe?
Yeah, let's switch over to the 100 for right now. See my Trent Rockets getting raked right now. Let's see what's happening over in the 100, guys, as we're waiting for this game to come back. I thought it would blow through quickly, but unfortunately it's not. And hopefully I could will 144 for the Trent Rockets.
That's not a bad score. It's just not good enough today, is it?
It's not good enough, but the score doesn't stand up.
What did Rashid Khan do today? Did he not bowl too well?
Well, Rashid
3 for 18. Damn, he bowled well today.
Ooh.
Look at that. Runs per ball. That's not too bad. The 100, yeah. They need 3 runs off 30 balls, by the way. Rashid Khan just got smashed for 4, a reverse sweep down to, third man for the sake of it. Wow.
That's okay.
By the way, did you watch the 100-meter sprint, 100-meter final for the Olympics, Gabe?
Oh no, I just caught I was at work, so I just caught it on the phone, like, you know what I mean?
All right. We actually watched it, and absolute shocker to see Jacobs win. I was like, what's happening? How did that happen? I expected one of the American athletes. I thought they were going to win, or maybe the English one, but the English one was kicked out because he had a false start. And then the Chinese athlete, he did really well in the heats, but then completely lost the plot in the actual final. So it was really entertaining stuff. Very entertaining stuff.
Did you see, talking about the other countries, did you see the French boxer that protested by sitting in the ring? And yes, he got disqualified for some reason, and he just sat in the ring. I was like, what? And protested for like an hour or something, like something crazy like that, bro.
Wow.
And was it the women's Canadian team, the softball team, that walked off the field because of the umpire's decision? Yes.
Wow.
Look it up.
I will check it out. That's so a lot of protesting going on at this Olympics, aren't there?
Bro, it's like this in every sport. And, you know, it's funny because I've been bashing umpires forever, my entire and Nick, for instance, he tries to be more neutral. But this year, like, the Padres have gotten, his team have gotten really screwed by calls, and they've actually filed an appeal with the league because there's one game where there were like 17 strike calls outside of the zone, and 16 of them were against his team. And they're like, that's impossible. You know what I mean? And it started to rear its ugly head. Like the Canadian team, the Canadian team that walked off because of the umpire's calls, that was realistically, that was horrible. Now, should they have done that in protest? People are going to say one way or another. But if I come out to compete, I cannot compete against a different team and against the umpires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just it's heartbreaking.
Agreed. It's unfair as well, isn't it? To the players. They're trying their hardest, and then if the umpire is kind of against them, it's not great. Mira says Benjamin seems like an exciting prospect, by the way. Yes, he does. He does. And also Krishna says as
I couldn't. Man.
Top the league anyway.
That's hilarious. As expected, China tops the Olympic medal list. I don't know what's going on in England where you're at, right?
Yeah.
And Moeen Ali, man, he's a savage, man. That was another team I liked. And because I love me some Moeen Ali,
Mm-hmm.
and I still went with my Chet Rockets. This is Nick's team, right? The Phoenix.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to hear it from Nick. Undefeated streak down the toilet, but I didn't stream the match. Trent Rockets' first match, correct?
My team Oval Invincibles lost yesterday, and that was so close. And then what was it? John Simpson came in and was playing really slow, and everyone said like, "Oh yeah, he's probably not timing the ball." 4-6 won them the game. I was like, "Oh, it was so." They needed 10 runs of the last 5,
right?
And then 4-6 won them the game. It was entertaining stuff, really entertaining stuff.
Let me ask you a question. Somebody just posted here, West Indies versus India, T20 final, right? After seeing India lose to Sri Lanka, right? Do you still? And I get it. It was India's C team, but guess what, bro? It's not gonna be the normal Indian team. Just all these COVID restrictions. It don't look like things are getting any better. We've got the Delta variant here in America and stuff starting to shut down again. Bubble fatigue, people opting out, having to keep your test team separate from your ODI team, separate from your T20 team. It may not be the India team that everyone's expecting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I think if I look at it realistically, if India doesn't make the semis, it's bad for them because their side, yes, they haven't been great in tournaments since Virat Kohli's captaincy, but even then they perform really well throughout the tournament. And it's one game that they lose, which is like a knockout game, and they lost the plot after that point. So India's still pretty solid. I know bubble fatigue's definite thing. I don't know if that's going to be considered because look at it, India-England series straight into the IPL, straight into the T20 World Cup.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And that's why they probably tried these players to see how they get on. Maybe, Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan. I don't see them being openers for India in T20s regularly, right?
Right.
Which is why it's absolutely brilliant that they had the opportunity of playing these players against a proper Sri Lankan side. Yes, Sri Lanka missed, I think, 2-3 players in their side as well. But India was completely different. Like, there were 3 genuine players who'd be in the genuine T20 11. Otherwise, the rest of the team was like, they're just players who had.
I'll tell you this: West Indies beats that team. West Indies beats that India team. Now it depends what the India team shows up, who's actually there. But in my opinion, the West Indies beats that India team that Sri Lanka beat. We got a couple super chats here. Not seeing India winning T20 this year. Thank you, Hardeep. You know what? It's tough, man. And it's a lot of cricket. And before we talked about, bubble fatigue. It's not a big thing. But think about this, guys. We're going on 18 months of this now. A year and a half of these players. And it's not like they get a lot of time off because they go from series to series to series to series. You don't know who's going to be there. So don't expect it to be the same India team that, was in the T20 last time. You know what I mean? I don't think it will be. Jihan, thank you for the super chat. He says the Big Bash didn't have doctors last year. There's some ridiculous
reviews.
Oh, DRS, sorry. They didn't have DRS last year. There were some ridiculous decisions. One time the batsman played a leg glance for 4, got given out LBW. Yeah. Again, umpiring calls and decisions have been horrible. I remember watching the BBL and people losing their minds because they didn't have DRS and there was such bad calls. And some are just human error. I get it. Some are human error. And this is where I'm going to get crushed right now. Watch this. Look at most umpires. Look at the majority of umpires. They're all older dudes. They've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years because they got to build that experience. Do you know how hard it is to stay? You're up on your feet while these players are up on their feet. You're trying to move out of position. You're trying to make sure you watch everything. Maybe umpiring should have an age limit because just like a player isn't going to be playing into think about how old right now. I'll give you an example, and not going to pick on a cricket umpire because I'm probably going to get crushed in here. But in America, we got Cowboy Joe West, who's retiring finally. The whole league is celebrating because he's the worst umpire, one of the worst ever. Him and Angel Hernandez. Cowboy Joe West is 64 years old. 64. How sharp do you think you're going to be at 64 years old? Standing in for a 4 or 5 hour baseball game in heat, in rain, when it's cold, knees hurting, backs hurting, getting hit with foul balls. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I understand why they blow these calls because fatigue sets in. Maybe there should be an age restriction for these umpires because you are also physically being exerted while you're out on the field. And think about some of these cricket umpires. I'm not going to say any names. Some of them look a little long in the tooth too. And just saying, you don't want a dude up there that's, 50, 60 years old and may not be able to physically handle the demands of the match.
I'll tell you this, a lot of the umpires are 50 plus. Okay. A lot of them are 50 plus. There's not many umpires that aren't 50 plus in cricket. Okay. So that's an interesting way of looking at it. So are you saying someone goes into just umpiring, not the fact that they have played the game and then they're retired and then they become an umpire? You're saying umpiring as a specific profession.
Yes.
So you're starting umpiring at like 25.
Yes.
Interesting. Do they do that in any sports that you watch?
Here in America.
Wow. So
now, many umpires used to be ex-high school and college players that didn't make it, and then they go into umpire, but they're still young enough for the demands of the game. But again, you try and stand and then move around. And you see even in cricket, some of these umpires are dodging balls coming at them. They're trying to get into position to see if it was an LBW. They're moving around. I get it. It's not an easy thing, especially when the weather kicks in. It's super hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that maybe having umpires, NFL actually does a pretty good job about this. Their umpires have to pass a physical test. So, for example, an umpire's got to be able to run 60 yards because you can't be halfway down the field and the play's up there and you can't follow it because in the NFL, it moves all around up and down the field. Think about football as well. Those umpires do as much running as the players do. Now, do they still blow calls? Yes. Don't get me started. Don't get me started with international football and some of these non-calls. I was watching the Gold Cup, and I think it was USA versus somebody. I can't remember. Maybe was it Jamaica? And it was a clear handball, and they didn't call it. And I'm like, what are you doing? That would have been a penalty kick right there for USA. They still won the game, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I just think there's a physicality to umpiring that we all have to take into consideration. And maybe it's I hate to say it's a young person game, but it's definitely not an old person's game. I don't want no 75-year-old dude out there like, wait, can I even see what happened? Seriously?
You said something that they need to pass a test of 60 yards, like running is 60 yards. Gabe, I don't think I can be an umpire in American football if I have to run 60 yards, all right? But I think that's, definitely some sort of fitness test would really help. I think 50, there's a comment up here, I don't know who wrote it, but basically you gain a lot of experience by the time you're 50. So retiring at 50 might not be the best shot. Maybe 60, like a genuine retirement age, would make a bit more sense. And the fact that you need to stay in some sort of decent shape. There is a super chat, by the way, from Hardeep saying, where is it?
Here, I got it. Transition phase is near for Australia, India, and West Indies. Interesting.
I don't think India. I think India's had that transition phase, and they're in that amazing period where it's highly likely that India might be ruling cricket for the next 4 years. But what do you think, Gabe?
I disagree with the statement. Thank you, Hardeep, for the super chat. I know why you're thinking it because I've heard this before. People are saying, this is it for Australia. Right now they got to tear everything down. It's all doom and gloom. Australia fans, calm down, okay? Calm down. Yes, you lost to India, a really good India team at home. It happens. Right now, you got beat down by New Zealand. New Zealand just won the ODI, not the ODI, the WTC championship. New Zealand is a legit squad. But if you look at Australia's record over the last 6 months, I get why Australia fans are mad, and yes, there needs to be some changes, but it's not like it's a complete, transition phase. Like, oh, that's it. We're out of the top standings. They're still going to be a top powerhouse. Now, West Indies for me is interesting. I would like to say that they're transitioning to be a better squad. I don't think so. Right now, it's just they're limited. T20 but their Test squad and even their ODI squad, they just don't have the bowling to be, a top, 2 or 3 team in the world for those teams. And that's just my opinion. And yes, it was USA versus Qatar.
I don't know what that's about. Is that the football game that you're talking about?
Yes, USA versus Qatar. There was a clear handball and they missed it. And I'm like, so even though in international football, and that was my point, even though in international football, you got a really fit umpires because they got to run up and down the court, not the court, the field with the players. You still got bad calls. But I think that you have to take into consideration that there is a physical or physicality to being able to be. Even people are going to say, well, they don't do that much in cricket. Yeah, you stand on your feet think about some of these test matches. You stand on your feet for 6, 7, 8 hours. All right. Let's see how your knees feel. Let's see how your back feels after X amount of time moving around the field, trying not to get hit, trying to stay sharp. It's not an easy thing. So if umpires can't handle that type of physicality, maybe they shouldn't be out there. That was my point to that. But thank you, Turning Point. Renault asked me to read your comments. Says, so the update is it's still raining heavily and very gloomy. We still have time before losing overs, though, but it's getting to that stage. Oh, I hope not.
It's shocking, though. Every time I try and I was trying to stream the first game, it rained. The second game, it did rain, but thankfully they came back. And now this third game is probably going to get rained off because, as Turning Point said, it's not that point yet, but we are getting to that stage where they start losing overs and it might become a 10-10 game or a 15-15 game.
Okay, here we go. I'm actually gonna I got Azjad here. I don't know how much time I have him for, but yeah, I'm probably gonna check out the next 100 game since we're already on here. Boomer says, Gabe, I think you misunderstood the term transition. Most of the older players are nearing retirement in the next 4 or 5 years. They need to be replaced. I don't think it'll be a problem, though. That's interesting.
So to me, I think that's that. If you mean transition phase in the next 4 or 5 years, I agree. There was a comment by I think it was Chatil as well, who said in the next 3 to 4 years, Ashwin, Pujara, Rahane, maybe even Shami, they're gonna get replaced out with someone else. That I understand, but I wouldn't say right now they're in a transition phase. I would say in the next few years, and that's why my statement was for the next 4 years, India's fine. After that point, I think India is gonna not find it very difficult, but they're gonna have a tough time of trying to make certain changes, and maybe even they're gonna change captains in like 4 years. People want captains to be changed now. They want Kohli to go, but I don't see Kohli going anywhere for the next few years.
Yeah, I agree with that. And even Australia, some of those. I mean, honestly, if you look at Australia, a couple of the players are older, and I think that the injury bug that you've seen on some of the players kind of explains, that because you get older, right? It's harder to recover, harder to stay healthy. Tim Payne is gone. I don't think Tim Payne survives another year. Honestly, I don't think he's.
Who's the captain then? Do you go Pat Cummins as captain?
Patty Cummins. You gave it to Patty Cummins, and so from that perspective, yes, I think JL's gone soon. And it's going to be a transition where you're going to get some of the younger players coming up, and Australia for sure is in the next 2-3 years going to look different. So is India, and I think right now the West Indies are in the midst of a transition period because we're starting to see a lot of younger players come in. And again, Chris Gayle just came back for the T20. He was out of the side any which way, right? He was retired. But you're going to see them move on, and they already have from players like Campbell, right? You know what I'm saying? He's been exiled or whatnot. and some of the younger players coming up.
Largely due to certain YouTubers commenting on.
Please make Udi Cat Indian captain, please. Are you kidding me? Oh man. Considering weather update, facility ground looked like it's difficult that the match will start again, because if rain stops, still water on the ground will be a challenge to get it drained. Hopefully it does. Super chat here. They were saying on Fox Sports, if Warner doesn't score runs this summer, it could be the end for him. Tim Payne will retire at the end of the Ashes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jihan. Yeah, Warner, I mean, for the love of Pete, yes, a groin injury is serious, but this groin injury is going on a year now. You know what I'm saying? And it's at least 8-9 months, something crazy like that. And when injuries linger that long, it's because you're older and your body's just not healing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. This is how it is. It sounds like I'm attacking old people today. Guys, I just turned 41. All right. I'm not attacking old people. I am old, but that's just the reality behind it. You know what I mean? No, Nepal match washed already. They announced it. Oh, that is so. I hope you're wrong.
Wait,
lack
what?
of groin doctors. Oh, that's funny.
There's a super chat by Sup as well.
What's up, Sup, my South African brother? Every time it's time for us to go. Every team, has its time. For us, golden age was Gimme Smith, Kalis, Ama, De Villiers, and now we're losing. We used to win easily. Yeah, South Africa was a powerhouse, and I think they still have really good players, but they're not a powerhouse anymore. And yeah, you know, every team does have its golden age. The West Indies, the Fourth Horsemen, right? 1970s and 80s. I mean, it happens, man. 41 is not gold. Yeah, no, I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old.
It doesn't look very promising, by the way, the match situation. It's really wet. It is raining, but the ground does look flooded. I don't know if someone wrote a comment or not, but yeah, the ground does look flooded as anything.
I mean, once they take it, I mean, I am down to stream the next one. If you are, I don't know what your schedule is like.
I'm happy to join you for at least like half an hour into the 100 game. I'm okay with that. It's however long my battery lasts.
Gotcha. Is the 100 on right now? Let me check. Who's playing?
The 100's on, but the next game is just getting ready. I think it's London Spirit versus the Southern Brave. That game should start at in 20-25 minutes. Oh,
you know what is on here? And I want to check it out on Willow since we're here. Manhattan, the American. I want to see what these fields look like. The minor league cricket. Manhattan Yorkers, Florida Beam right now, 42-1 in the 7th over. You got Willow?
I'm gonna check Willow, the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Well, it's
Manhattan Yorkers and Orlando Galaxy. Is that the game you're talking about? Or
yes.
Right. Let's see. Mute this. Yeah, the grounds don't look great.
Oh, this looks. Honestly, these grounds look terrible.
This isn't good.
These grounds look terrible.
Does the 100 game start in an hour? If the 100 game starts in an hour, then I thought it was going to start in about 20 minutes, but could be wrong. Oof. Where Jihan asks Gabe, how would you react to Bairstow and Campbell becoming umpires?
So, oh man, you know what's funny? I've probably given those two players more flack than any other players, and they're probably the nicest people on the planet. And what's funny is that they're both very talented. Listen, You know who Brian Scalabrine is?
I don't.
Okay, they call him the White Mamba. Now, obviously, everybody knows who the Black Mamba is. That's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, Kobe was a god in basketball, okay? Arguably one of the 5 best players of all time, up there with MJ, obviously LeBron. I mean, Kobe Bryant was amazing. So there was Brian Scalabrine, who they called the White Mamba as a joke. In his NBA career, he averaged 6 points. 6 points a game. Yes, Boston. Exactly. He was on so people used to give him crap and all kinds of flack because he was a really good college player. You get to the NBA, it's a different animal. So he said, all right, I got the Scalabrine challenge. Open invitation. Anyone can come to the gym and play me. I'll play anyone. If you win, I'll give you, I think it was like $10,000.
Wow.
And people would come show up, even college players, young high school players, and he'd smack everybody, bro. He went 44-0. 44-0.
Wow.
Here's the best part. In those 44-0 games, in that 44-0 that he went, he gave up, I think, in all 44 games, I think he ended up giving up like 15 points or something crazy like that. Like, that's how good you have to be in the NBA. So all athletes, like, we clown these guys and we attack them. It's one thing to play where we're at. And we played at the high school level and college level, some of us. But at the pro level, it's a different animal, all right? We're like, oh, come on. I guarantee Bairstow is a world-class talent. You have to be just to get up there. Campbell is a world-class talent. You have to be just to get up there. I give them flack, but I realize how good you have to be to even make it there. You know what I'm saying? It's like United States right now. There's a big controversy going on because America's so upset about all the silver medals and bronze medals. Our athletes are competing, and you know what I mean. And players are speaking out. Athletes are speaking out. Like,
America's got the most medals at this Olympics. Yes, they don't have the most gold, but they're second in golds. It's fine. It's all good.
Not for the average American who's never competed and has no idea what they're talking about. And I agree with the athletes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for everybody here, look it up online because they have it. The Scalabrine Challenge. Brian Scalabrine. I'm not even exaggerating. He was so upset. He said, I'm putting up cash money that no pro can beat me. $10,000 cash. People come up to the gym and he was leaving people on hooties, donut. Like, you're not even scoring, cousin. Like, oh, he was an animal. And that really taught you, like, wow. Yeah, I'm watching this game right now, Sup. US needs to invest in pitches, which is why I was wondering what the venue was. And they were saying cricket grounds. We've got a lot of stadiums, baseball and even football, that aren't being used that could easily be converted into a cricket grounds. They're big enough venues, but this is not I mean, look at this grass. This is terrible. This is a terrible pitch.
It's not good. It's I thought there would be a bit more investment personally. Yes, it's minor league. Maybe when the major league cricket tournament starts, maybe that's something different. But yeah, it's like any basic tournament anywhere around the world, but even worse condition. Like, honestly, this again, America doesn't play cricket that often do they?
Right.
So I understand why it's like that. But my pitch in England, in a club level, in a town, right, is 10 times better than what I saw on that ground, which is something I didn't think I was gonna say. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing. At least there is cricket going on, which is better than anything at the moment, though. Right.
And I think that just like it was like this, by the way, when MLS first started, right? And here in America, and now they were playing in like old baseball stadiums and old like football stadiums. Now they built a lot of their own proper stadiums, and some of them are really, really nice. So I think they've just got to get the product out there, start, you know, because like you said, this is minor league cricket. But I'm sure that when the IPL comes in, they're going to spend a little bit more money and the pitches will look better. But I'm just happy that they got the tournament and that they're attracting people and trying to expand into that market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. There's a question from Kofi Henry. Who's the greatest cricketer of all time after Sir Don Bradman? Question for both of you. Right. Okay. So that's a very, very tough question. Again, everyone's has their own opinion on it. I would say maybe Sir Garfield Sobers could be considered. You could have Sachin Tendulkar in the discussion there, right? There's a lot of people you could probably put in there. I would go with one of those two. But from what you've looked at, Gabe, what do you think after Sir Don Bradman? Who else?
I am not qualified to answer this question. Okay. And I'm going to qualify my statement by saying that simply because I've not seen all players. I haven't followed, even though we've done a lot of the history of cricket. I'm like, it's only a limited view. Like we've done one or two K-lists, right? We've done a lot of MS Dhoni. We've done a lot of Sachin. I don't think we've done any Bradman, or maybe we did one Bradman video. So it's tough, you know what I'm saying? Who's the greatest cricketer of all time? I don't think I am qualified to answer that question. But with that being said, for me, it's got to be, and people are going to see, this is where I look at things. Ooh. Did you see that catch right now?
I did not.
Even though the field is horrible, the cricketing is legit.
That's good.
It got caught at third wicket. Even though this field is trash, guys, the players are still legit. The players are still legit. 22 for 3 right now. And wow, what a great catch.
Are you watching the Florida and Manhattan match, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, all right, okay. Let me just click on that one then. I was watching a completely different game.
I'll give you a clue, Gabe. He was probably from Yorkshire. That's funny. But for me, and it's the same thing in baseball. People kill me because I have these same arguments. I always think that bowlers, you know what I'm saying, get so little credit. Just like in baseball, pitchers get such little credit. But having played the sport in baseball, it's way harder to be a pitcher than to be a hitter. Bottom line, all right? And the rules are even skewed for offensive put out. So I always, when I'm talking about the conversation, I always like to look at bowlers, you know what I'm saying? And
that's not a bad shout. With bowlers, that's the thing. Like, I would consider Muralitharan as one of the best of all time, largely due to look at what he did in Test cricket and in ODIs at the end of his career. So he's got the most number of wickets, so maybe he could be in contention. There's a comment on that the game. So I was wrong. The game actually starts in 45 minutes, the 100 game.
Okay.
And it's it's up to you. We can sit here till then, or we can start in about 45 minutes. Entirely up to you. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good right now. As long as you can hang, we'll hang. I had etched out some time this morning to get this done. So, you know, looking at this right now, it's kind of disappointing that this stadium looks this way and this pitch looks this way. But looking at the players,
might be all right. It's Florida. It's 23 for 3, right? 23 for 3.
23 for 3.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, how does major and minor league system work for other sports in the USA? So, it depends which sport you're talking about. So, really, baseball has the biggest minor league system, and then followed by the NBA, who has the D League. And again, players that get drafted in baseball go usually directly to the minor leagues and then play a few years down there. Then they go to the major leagues. And NBA players usually go to the NBA. And the players you watch in the NBA draft normally go right to the NBA. And then the undrafted players or the players, they're the ones that end up in the D League because they still need some more development in the minor leagues. They do get paid a lot less. I think somebody said $125 per game here in minor league cricket. That's really, really, I mean, geez. But it's just starting out, so I'm sure it'll be more. The average minor league baseball player probably makes about $100,000, you know what I'm saying? Unless they were like a big superstar and they got a huge contract out the gate. Guys can make $400,000 down there. I've seen rookies get $1 million, and you know what I'm saying? But they still got to go to the minors because they're young and they want to groom them. But we have a minor league team here in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Aviators. And it's fun to watch minor league games because they're cheap. the stadiums are smaller, so there's always good seats, and you get to see the young talent come up before everybody else sees them.
The thing with the way it's kind of split, it's like two states. So it's Major League Baseball. That's the highest level, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar to with cricket. You've got domestic, and then you've got the international stage, right? Or you've got state level or club level, state level, then domestic cricket, and then you've got international cricket. So it's kind of like that, but it's kind of split a lot cleaner. So as you said, players who are very good and can probably get drafted into the major leagues, they probably don't, because they need to improve a bit more, gain more experience in minor leagues, and then they get moved up. Is that right?
Yes, correct. That's exactly what happens. Gabe, can soccer become second most popular sport in the USA in the next 10 years because 2026 FIFA World Cup is also in USA? I think it will be, and I'll tell you why. Right now, you've got the Gold Cup being held here in Las Vegas, right? And it is sold out, bro. It is sold out. USA versus Mexico, great game today. You see that, unfortunately, baseball is losing its popularity in America for a myriad of different reasons. The game is too slow, not enough scoring, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it just is. Even though I love baseball, it's probably dropped to third. It used to be number one. Now it's American football, followed by the NBA. And the thing about the NBA is that the NBA, although it does have an international following or whatnot, here in America, the NBA has a very limited viewer base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that because America is such a hodgepodge of different nationalities, we've got people from India, Europe, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Since there's so many people, so many different cultures here in America that follow football, whatever, as the game gets bigger and the MLS is here, and now I think it will be. I'm not sure if in that time span. Super chat that I wanted to get to here. Really like Gil as a test and ODI player. He will be great. Needs to get in. Secure mindset. Really excited for
Sky.
Sky baby, Syria in England. If he plays, he will play. Want West Indies and South Africa.
I think they're saying want West Indies and South Africa to be great again.
Oh, great again. That's what it says. Okay, great again. You and me both.
Just a point on Sky. He is in the squad because of the injuries and all that stuff. I don't see him starting off though. Initially, I actually expect India to open with Rohit and Mayank, and then go in with Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant as their top six.
Mayank Agarwal over. Are you serious?
In Test cricket as an opener, because there's no Shubman Gill, I would go Mayank Agarwal. Maybe they consider KL Rahul, but I think Mayank Agarwal is probably going to get the first spoon for.
And you're probably right. You've got more information than I do, but man, I would have much rather had. Me personally, I would have much rather had what you call it?
Sky?
I would have much rather had Sky. Yeah, correct. So here we go. Minitium. The thing is that everyone who plays for European and American cricket teams are mostly Indian, English, West Indies, etc., decent, and not local of those countries. So cricket is hard to spread. Well, that is the next thing that I think that needs to happen. Now that we've got a domestic league here, there's going to be reason for kids to pursue it because, I can pursue this as a professional career, which means colleges will have it and there'll be scholarships. So now, there's scholarships involved. So now it'll go down to the high school level. Because if you can only look at trying to make an international team, which is very limited, am I going to dedicate my athletic ability and time and resources to a game where I'm just trying to get on one international team versus once you've got a local league and a domestic league, there's a lot more teams. Now it becomes a more realistic thing. So I think that in and of itself will lend to it.
It will take time though. It will take a few years at least to get that system in place, I would say, especially if it's a new sport being introduced. I didn't know do you have scholarship for all the sports then in the US? Do you have scholarship for football as well?
Bro, football, there is, and not saying this in a derogatory fashion, but you can get a scholarship for like women's golf, bro. Like, because universities have to provide scholarship for all their athletes, even though really it's the 4 or 5 major sports that carry it: baseball, football, basketball, and soccer or international football. Any sport that's offered in that school has to, and both women's and men has to offer scholarships for those players. So yes, every sport there is has scholarships at the collegiate level.
Wow, didn't know that.
I wanted to answer Renil's question. Gabe, question: how can the Caribbean country come better and compete with the 2 big boys, USA and Mexico, in football, international football or soccer? Here's the thing: you got to put money in. It takes money and infrastructure. So they start recruiting at young levels, and they're taking these kids right out of high school. Savannah's nephew, John Riquejo Jr., who played men's U14, U15, U16, U17. He's been to Europe, all over, playing with that team. Then he went pro, played for the Tijuana Cholos. He could have gotten to UCLA. He had a full ride over there, but he chose to turn pro. They've been recruiting these kids and grooming them since they're in club ball before they even get to high school. And then, you know what I'm saying? There's so much money put into it and infrastructure that by the time you see these guys play on a big scale, they've already played so many different games and been on so many different venues and exposed to it that's why these teams in America have gotten so good in a relatively short amount of time. Now, with that being said, it still needs more, I would say, because, for instance, as much as success as the women's football team or soccer team has had, they don't get paid as much as they should compared to baseball players, football players, hockey players, NBA players. So that has to come.
Wow. There's speaking of hockey, by the way, India beat England or Great Britain in hockey in the quarterfinal 3-1. Sajid Ali kindly puts it, let me just say it: India beat Great Britain in hockey to qualify for semis. Take that, Asjad. So I just wanted to reference that comment. I like it. Thank you for that.
I'm sorry I didn't see it. Like I'm just going through questions and talking and ranting. So thanks, Asjad. But Renil says not a huge Gold Cup fan, but I do watch my country's playing. I'll tell you this: Jamaica has some of the fastest speed. USA barely beat them 1-0. Jamaica's fast, man, and you know they got to work better on their touch. You know what I'm saying? But man, do they have some speed. So for sure, they are already considered a really good international side in football or soccer.
There's a comment here by Chato. Sanju Samson, does he have a chance for the World T20
Done.
for India? No, yeah.
Done. Done.
He's not.
Sanju Sanson's face is on the back of a milk carton. They can't even find him. They've disappeared him. He's done. Just being honest. Too many chances, too many failures. And before it was like, oh, he's a young guy. He ain't that young anymore. And there's so many players behind him. Right now, there's so many players blocking him. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Pant ain't going anywhere, all right? And then even after Pant, they've got Sean Kishan. They also got K.O. Rahul who could keep. You know what I mean? At this point, I mean, yeah, Sanju Samson unfortunately is done.
Damn. It's disappointing because I know he's great. He is great. It's just not very consistent. And
do you think it's a head thing with him? Rishab K, I'm going to try to look for your comment. Aren't there sports scholarships in the UK? You can answer that while I look for that other comment.
Yeah, well, I don't think there are that many, if there are any. I don't know about any scholarships in the UK, especially sports related. There might be like Not that many, especially not in any university that isn't in the top 10 of the country. Yeah, there's not that many sports scholarships at all. There's not that many scholarships either in the UK. You could get it for international students. You could get some scholarships, but they're not to do with sports. That's to do with your grades and stuff. So yeah, it's a very different system to the US.
Oh,
yeah. So someone asked me. So my brother went to Oxford and he was looking for, what type of scholarships do they do? They do 2 scholarships. That's it. And they're to do with studies, and that's it. No sports scholarship, nothing like that I could find in the UK. But in the US and in Canada, there are loads of scholarships. That's why I was checking if it's scholarships for any sport. So if a sport gets big enough, then you'll get a scholarship. And that's what I was trying to just get from you. And if that's the case, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Bro, I'm shocked for you to say that you're saying that right now. Literally, I've seen you could get a scholarship for like literally debate team here. You can get they got all kinds of academic scholarships as well, but they just throw money at sports, and it doesn't matter because the way the rules are set up. If you have one sport in your team, in your school that gets a scholarship, and most schools have either a football or baseball team that does, then any sport your school has have to also offer scholarships. That's just the rule, the way the rules are, man. So I am shocked to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically, you are, as an athlete in the UK, paying your own dime all through primary school and high school and possibly even college to just possibly be able to get on a football team or on a cricket team. And if not, what happens to all the players that don't make it?
Hi, nice to meet you, Gabe. Just YouTube channels. No, but honestly, like, you keep playing. So, there's so many players in the UK. There's so many YouTube channels who have their own, like, there's a cricket pod, the cricket podcast. You've got We Cricket. They play cricket on club level, right? And they just keep playing. It's usually like £1 if it's an away game. It's free if it's a home game, and like things like that. So at least that's my little bubble that I've seen. And there are not scholarships, but there's programs that you can go into. And I was talking to my dad about this today, that if you're a fast runner, let's say, if you're really good at athletics, you can enroll into a program. And I believe it's free. If it's not free, then like coaches and all that stuff, in the States, it's very much, you have to pay for everything, right? You have to pay for this coach, these things, this thing. So in England, from my limited knowledge, it's free in the sense that, you can go and try out and stuff. If you get picked up, then you start getting paid. You go into under 13, under 15, under 17, etc., etc. That's different to, but there's no scholarships with university or anything like that, with colleges or with high school and stuff.
Because here's the thing. We've got so many kids that pursue the sports and at the high school level because that you can at least get a scholarship, and education is expensive here. So that if I don't go pro, even if I get hurt my first year, season-ending, career-ending injury, you still have to pay for my education. Where in average college in America, we're looking at even the cheap ones, $10,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are up to $40,000 a year. So once you do that, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, there's a reason to pursue it other than trying to become a pro athlete, because it's going to help pay for this education, so I don't literally go into debt before I even become a full-time employee. So that's interesting to me that they don't have that in England. Wow. But I was that so funny. He's like, you're looking at him right here. He's like, hello.
I wasn't that good though. I wasn't that good. There's a comment from Andy here, and I've read it a couple of times from someone else as well. Have either of you seen Harry Brook play yet? Looks a decent prospect. Harry Brook, he's the one who was playing in the previous game, wasn't he? He looks pretty good. There's another batsman I've seen who looks pretty good called Chris Benjamin. He's from the second 11 of some team, and he's been thrusted into the 100 and just had a great time of it. He's only gotten out once out of the 3 games he's played, and he's a very aggressive batsman. He's good to watch. So some very good English prospects being shown in the in the 100, but I don't know if they'll actually get picked up moving forward to T20s or into county cricket. But there are some exciting prospects, a lot of exciting South African prospects as well. Some Kiwis. So, it's good to see from an English development.
Yeah, it's definitely giving more exposure to local players we wouldn't have known of. My man Han Solo says, Gabe, UK sports have lottery funding, but university sports are totally at the expense of the students. That's insane. That's insane. Wow. But that's probably my American mentality too, where you're gonna pay me to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna, because I know the amount of money that it takes. Listen, this summer, I've probably spent $5,000 easily on having Trey go to these college camps, the scouting camps, and having them travel from Arizona to Utah to California. Each camp has a price associated with it. You're talking about airfare. You got to get a hotel room while you're there for the 2 or 3 days. It costs money just to get into those programs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, if there wasn't a chance to get a scholarship and help him pay for his education, which I know will cost him anywhere between 50 and 100 grand, then I wouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? I don't even think about the pro aspect. First, let's get to college, get yourself an education that's paid for so you don't come out of debt. And like my oldest son, who's 21 right now, he's about to graduate. And if you do get selected and eventually go pro, great. But at least you're getting an education so that you can get yourself, find good employment when you graduate and you're not in debt. That's always been my focus with my kids. But I wouldn't put that kind of money into it if it wasn't because the scholarship system here in America is so, I wouldn't say guaranteed, but I mean, it's not hard to do if you've got athletic ability.
All I want to add to that is if I put it just for cricket, right? In terms of cricket, if you want to invest in cricket in England, you better go to a private school. Let's just put it that way. Like 9 times out of 10, you go to a private school, you're more likely to get into like counties and stuff like that. Yes, you get players from outside the bubble, but there is more likelihood you're going to get through. And I was speaking to an Australian YouTuber as well a couple of days ago, and he said the same thing about Australia. So I thought it was just an English thing, but in Australia as well, it's very similar in terms of how players go from the lower levels to higher levels. You need to have some sort of financial backing. You don't have scholarships in the same sense.
Wow.
Now, if we talk about, there was a comment, that comment about university sports. If it's for universities, you get student loans from the government. So if you want to go to university, they pay for your education and all that stuff. You do have to pay it back eventually over the next.
Then you're in debt. Years. Yeah, then you're in debt.
Technically, it's not. The way I see it is, you pay it back if you earn more than a certain amount. But if you're earning less than that amount for a 10-year period, then your loan is kind of, null and void. It said, okay, that's fine. You're not earning that much. We're not going to ask you for the money back. But after you go above a certain amount, then you have to start paying that student loan back. So it's all kind of automated and stuff. So in my sense, whenever I think about it, I don't even consider. I think, oh, this is just extra tax that I'm paying on top of my student loan. So that's because tax in the UK is a lot more than I think in the US. I don't know if tax is a huge thing in the US. Is it like 5%?
Depending what state you're in, it is. Depending what state it is you're in.
Oh, okay. It's state dependent. All right.
A couple interesting comments here, but Minitium says $5,000 is like 10 PS5 giveaways. That's funny. I love this comment here, Boomer. All those South African prospects are either going to England or New Zealand.
Yes, they are. Definitely are.
I mean, oh gosh, you know what I'm saying? It's tough right now. South Africa has lost a few players already, and it's gotta hurt too when they become superstars, man. But what are you gonna do? Han
Solo with one of the best comments. When Gabe is streaming, my state is euphoria.
There's another comment I wanted to. Shane Warren tests positive for COVID. No. And that's concerning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
he's in the UK. I keep telling people they shouldn't be going to stadiums.
It's concerning, man. And I tell you what, man, it's starting. The numbers are blowing up here too. Please be safe, guys. At this point, I've known so many people, including in my family, who've gotten it. Luckily, we've only had one fatality in the family, but it's real, man. So take care of yourself, be cautious, because it's definitely a real thing, man. And it's so depressing. Boomer says, actually, I want to read Rose's comment. Americans get so much and still complain. Moral of the story, don't give too much where they get spoiled. Rosa, here's the thing. The biggest problem with Americans is that very few Americans have a... Okay, here's my analogy. If you're starving and you haven't eaten anything in days, and somebody gives you a cracker, right? Somebody gives you a cracker with some cheese on it. It's gonna be the best dang cracker you've had in your life. Oh my gosh, what's that? A Ritz cracker? Oh my gosh, saltine? Oh man. But if you're not starving and you're used to eating filet mignon, and somebody comes to you with, again, let's say that cracker, or even let's say some chicken, you're gonna be like, bro, I eat filet mignon. Problem is, Americans don't realize what they have here in this state. And that's why, to me, as an educator, I always tell my students, guys, education isn't free everywhere. Public education, for instance, that doesn't exist in Dominican Republic, where I'm from. You're paying to go to school. Your parents are paying. And we're talking about at the elementary, the primary level. And if not, then you're going to be subjected to a life of manual labor. That's just a reality in a lot of countries, and in smaller third world countries. And Americans, I think, because our school, our educational system does not really teach a global view or worldwide view. We don't really know what's going on in other countries. And a lot of Americans don't travel abroad. They don't realize how good it is here at home as opposed to other countries. You know what I'm saying? But that's because your view is limited. You know what I mean? Right now, we've got a very big a problem here in America where a lot of right wingers don't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's because they've been limited to the views of one specific political party and one specific news station, which shall remain nameless because I'll probably get shut down if I mention who it is. But if that's all the information you're getting, that's what's true to you. There was what was this? The Cave of the Allegory. Did you read that when you were in college? It basically talks about how this guy was chained up since birth, right? He was chained up since birth, and it's pretty much like an analogy they use, but chained up since birth. And he was in a cave, and the only thing that he ever saw was the shadow that would bring him his food, would bring him his water, would bring him his provisions, but he never actually got to see people. All he saw was the shadow. So that became his reality. And when he finally did see a person late into his adulthood, then he was like, to him, that wasn't reality. The shadows were reality to him because that's all he's known. So it's really what you're exposed to. And unfortunately, Americans just are not exposed to a world view and don't understand what's going on outside of America. So thus they don't realize how good they have it. And that was a long-winded answer to say, yes, we're spoiled, but unfortunately, we don't know anything different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you couldn't have put it better myself, even though I'm not in the States. I get what you're saying, because I've had experiences where, if someone's from the States and they travel abroad, they'd say, oh, I'm from Chicago, as an example, right? And I've seen people answer back saying Chicago, like, okay, tell me the country. And it's a common thing in the States, and correct me if I'm wrong, that, everyone assumes which city is, like, everyone's just from America, right? So if you're from, you might say, oh, I'm from Michigan. I think Michigan is a state. Michigan's a state, right?
Yes.
They basically try and say which state they're from or which city they're from, rather than if I ask someone, oh, where are you from? They're not going to say, oh, I'm from the US. If you ask me, I would say I'm from Pakistan. So I name the country automatically. Right. But I think that kind of worldview you're talking about, it's completely correct. And also a point on Sport Geeks asking, still raining? Yes, it's still raining. It's still pouring down. If you look at Samuel Badri's tweet, that's how bad it is right now. It is, the entire stadium is covered, the entire ground is covered with water. And it just, it's a horrible sight as a cricket fan at the moment.
Asjad, I finally got your name. All right. We got Nick the Wicket Keeper. All right. Obviously, Jody the Six Whisperer. All right. Gabe the Night Watchman. You are Asjad the Rainmaker. Because, bro, you got so many games rained out on me. What are you doing to us, man? Seriously? Asjad's the Rainmaker, guys.
The Rainmaker reminds me of wrestling, and I'm okay with the Rainmaker. It's the Painmaker I keep thinking of. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Gabe. I'm honored.
The Rainmaker.
I will change. I will change it from Asjad Cricket for Us to Asjad the Rainmaker moving forward. I will keep to that.
Sandeep Bhatt says Ricky Ponting, Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar, Kalis, or Steve Waugh. Who's the best of that bunch?
In what? In batting? In Test cricket? In ODIs? What are they asking exactly? Right, there we go. That's the comment.
Well, I could be a homer and say Brian Lara, right? But
Lara was great.
Lara was great, man.
Amazing. Thing is, surprisingly, Steve Waugh, who I put as my captain of my Australian all-time 11, right? That guy,
right?
He's the only one I would say who is like slightly below all four of those. Because Jack Callis was amazing. Sachin Tendulkar, Brian Lara, Ricky Ponting. You can't like if you name those players, you know you're talking about great batsmen. But even Steve Waugh, the dude's batting average was about 15 tests. He captained Australia brilliantly. He was a kind of decent bowler as well, right? But at the same time, it's those four, and then Steve Waugh is maybe just a little
below. Yeah.
Just below. But picking out of those four, I would pick Sachin Tendulkar personally,
right?
But I know my dad would pick Brian Lara, who's sitting right next to me. I know people who would pick Jacques Kallis because he's one of the few people ever who scored I don't know how many thousands of runs and taken how many hundreds of wickets, taken how many hundreds of catches. So yeah, Jacques Kallis was outstanding as well. He's genuinely one of the best all-rounders ever. Gary Sobers and then Jacques Kallis I'd put in the same kind of bracket. Or if you want to go even further back, you think of some Australians and English players as well. But yeah, Jacques Kallis was a beast.
I can answer this question, and I want Asjad, you to give me your opinion on this. Gabe, Asjad, are big football players not committed to playing for a country because not a big like Messi, Ronaldo plays in Olympics, but play club. Even if Olympics is the pinnacle, most are dying to play Olympic. I can tell you here in America for sure what it is, but you tell me what your opinion is of that first.
So my take is, it's Sajid saying that people like Messi and Ronaldo aren't playing in the Olympics, right?
Correct.
But they're happy to play club. It's first off, club nowadays, at least the way I've seen it with football, is club level or La Liga or Premier League is considered like up here. International football is considered probably below like franchise leagues around the world for football. That's the way that I've seen it, and which is one of the big reasons why. Yes, I've seen Messi and Ronaldo represent their countries in World Cups or in Euro Cups, etc. But in the Olympics is more of a like a lot of pro players don't play on the Olympics. Like, I again, I could be wrong, but did LeBron James play for the U.S. in basketball?
He did. Before he played on Team USA. Here's the thing. First and foremost, medals are great. Medals are great, and everybody loves medals. But the Olympics don't pay. You get endorsements as individual players. That's how they make their money. But the Olympics don't pay. And I know people are going to say, well, that's not the point. You represent your country. I get that. These athletes, some of them want to play. But at least here in America, if you're committed, let's say, to the New York Yankees or to the LA Lakers, you're their property. You're their commodity. They own you. So a lot of them cannot play on a team outside of their local domestic team because if they do, they violate their contract, especially if they get hurt. Yes.
Wow.
And it's happened in baseball where players choose to play in the World Baseball Classic, get hurt, so the team will now void their contract on their local team, whether they're, let's say, a Yankee, a Red Sox, doesn't matter who they are. And until they come back healthy, they won't get paid. because you got hurt playing for a different team that's not the team that employs you, if that makes sense. And I know that's a very capitalist way of thinking, but that's exactly what it is. It's a capitalist way of thinking. Do you know what and when we're just talking about football here, but I'm talking about the Olympics in general, some of these athletes that play basketball or hockey, domestically, they make way more money than they do playing in, from their sponsorships playing internationally. So if I'm getting paid $20-30 million a year to play for team XYZ, am I going to risk that, go get hurt in the Olympics, and then they're going to void my contract because I'm hurt until I get back?
Yeah. Crazy. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought at least you could represent yourself nationally. By the way, there's a super chat by Sup about Messi. I've just seen it. There it is.
Here it is. Found it. Messi has already won Olympic gold at age 19, and the Olympic football teams can only have 3 players over the age of 23. Good job there, Sup. Good job there, Sup. But yeah, that's why you see a lot of these players that play for like Team USA, and you don't see all the big names or some of the superstars. I mean, you see a lot of big names, but not all of them, because again, if you get hurt, that's on you. You know what I mean? And I actually give a lot more credit to those players that do it.
It's surprising though. Like it is. Like I can't fathom that. You can't play your best team.
Thank you for the super chat, Sup.
In the Olympics, that's outrageous. Because Turning Point said something similar as well, just underneath, and I thought maybe that was a typo. That under 24, sorry, under 24 means most of the great players that you see playing, at least for football, I think they can't play in the Olympics. You can get 3 if you have teams like Brazil back in the day when Brazil was just outrageously good, right? They couldn't have their best squad at the Olympics. And I agree with you about, Olympics not paying anything. And that is a huge thing. That commodities aspect, though, just blown me away, Gabe. Blow me away with knowledge today. So thank you for that.
Militium, guys, it's 100 streamed on Sony Live. I know it's streamed on Willow. That's where we're watching it.
I think in India it might be. But again, that's for the Indian viewers out there to help us out. That would be great. There was another comment I just saw on here. Sandeep Bhatt says McGrath, Brett Lee, Shane Warne, Wasim Akram, Zahir Khan, Shoaib Akhtar, Donald, Ambrose Walsh, Murli Stain, best bowler. You can't say 12 names who are amazing and say pick one. That's even harder than the batting question. I'd probably say Murli, as I've kind of kept saying for a while. But yeah, that's a very, very difficult question to answer. From what you've seen, I know you've seen like 90% of those guys, Gabe. Who'd you go for if you had to pick one?
Oh, this is so tough, man. You know what, man? Probably Brett Lee, man. It's got to be between Brett Lee and Shane Warne. I know Morali is, and I've seen some of Morali and even Dale Stein, but I mean, those guys to me are just in a class in and of themselves. I think Warren has 600 wickets, 700. I mean, geez Louise, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The rain has stopped. Gabe, the rain has stopped.
Finally.
But there's no update about how good the ground is, but the rain has stopped. That's
finally.
That's kind of good news.
The Rock has come back. I want to answer this question. Gabe, can you tell us, refereeing in boxing, does boxing need a review system? Here's a problem with boxing.
No.
It moves so quickly that a review system, like maybe on a knockdown, you could use it on a low blow or something like that. But like a review system for the points, the judging, it's what's bad with the umpiring. And now you're questioning the judging, which should be questioned, because especially in the Olympics, it's been terrible. The judges are always terrible. They're always biased. I just did a film review that didn't get a lot of love, but it's okay. Me and Nick did, it was a boxing film called Wow. It was the last one we dropped on Born Reviews. Now I can't remember the name of it. I'm getting old, bro.
Not Tufan, is it?
Tufan, yeah. And in Tufan, you saw how because he was an amateur, right? He had one state. Now he was trying to win internationally to represent India. And you saw how they try to rob him with the umpire and the judge working collaboratively to take away points or not call a low blow or whatever. And you see that happen all the time in the Olympics, all the time internationally, all the time in the amateur ranks. It's frustrating. That's why, to me, I like that movie so much, because it was so real. It's not just the training montages, but it spoke to some of the corruption that happens in boxing. And I mean, there was this big story. I forgot who it was, a big American boxer who lost in points internationally to some guy. I forget who it was. Was it Evander Holyfield? I can't remember who it was. And everybody was shocked. Like, what? It was like a travesty. And it happens all the time. Now, here's the thing with boxing. Even at the pro level, there's got to be some accountability for these judges that don't call it right. Even if it's like a punch track number or something like that. Because even at the professional level, okay, there's a fight that exemplifies this. It was a Don King fight. Are you familiar with Felix Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya?
You can tell me about it. This is absolutely amazing. But before you do, there's a super chat. I just wanted to kind of tell you there's a super chat by Sup again.
Okay. Sup says, Gabe can only see the nightmare on Broad Street. Yeah, Stuart Broad. I mean, that guy's got 500 test wickets now. He's getting up there. But everyone look up Oscar De La Hoya versus on YouTube or Google it. Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad. It was a fight. I remember it like it was yesterday. Oscar De La Hoya beat the bricks off of Felix Trinidad. Felix Trinidad was represented by Don King, who's been known to fix matches in boxing. Oscar De La Hoya outlanded Felix Trinidad by 147 punches. 147 punches. 147 punches and lost. How? How is that possible? It was one of the biggest robberies of all time in boxing. The boxing world lost their minds, and that's the problem. That referee should have been banned from the sport forever. That decision should have been reversed. So that kind of review system needs to happen. But how do you lose a fight where you outland the other guy by 147 punches? There's just no way. Unless you get knocked out, there's no way. So that's the problem with boxing. You know, it was one of my triggers. So as soon as they mentioned it in boxing, I'm like, oh man, I got to talk about this. But
I just want to say something about the Tufan, like, because I watched the movie. I personally thought it was very well made. Right. I think there's a Telugu or a Tamil film. It's a South Indian film. Please don't hate me. It's a South Indian film that released around the same time, which is meant to be a lot better than Tufan. I haven't gotten down to watching that, but I saw Tufan and I was like, okay, this is very interesting. This is a very interesting take on how things happened, but it was all very predictable. Of course it was predictable. You could tell from the trailer what was going to happen, but I thought the way Farhan Akhtar kind of did what he did in Bhag Milka Bhag by getting ripped as anything, right? Looking like an actual boxer, right? To fight in this film, I thought was really good. And the storyline kind of made sense as well. So just thought I'd give my 2 cents on Tufan. And the movie's called, there you go, Sarpata Parambara, right? That's
that's right. It's right here. It's coming, guys. It's coming. We're gonna get to it. Tyson, Holyfield, or Lennox Lewis. You know what? Out of those three, honestly, Lennox Lewis was a better boxer. Lennox Lewis, not just because he beat Tyson, but he knew how to box. Holyfield was a good boxer as well. Tyson was a savage. He was probably one of the most dominant boxer. But here's the thing. Once he ran up against a guy who, like Lennox Lewis, who really knew how to box, and then later on a Holyfield, guys that could nullify his power, kind of like you saw in Tufan, where I'm not going to let you come and rush me with all your power. I'm going to let you wear yourself out. I'm going to eat and absorb some of these shots with my guard. But once that happened to Tyson, he struggled because you saw it was just his power and intimidation that was winning matches. But did he know how to box? No. So for me, Lennox Lewis was the better fighter.
Wow. I did not expect that. That answer. Wow. Okay.
Bro, Lennox Lewis, man, he whooped Tyson as an amateur. He rocked his snack box in the Olympics, bro. Lewis knew how to box. That's a difference between fighting and boxing, and that's, a lot of people don't understand that.
Just wanted to tell you the rain has indeed stopped, and the covers on one side are being taken off.
Sweet.
So maybe 90 minutes away is the cutoff time. Okay, so if they can get it all dried up, then that would be pretty cool. Otherwise, I've got time. I just don't want to lose my battery. So until my battery dies, I'm probably gonna stay around here. Also, by the way, I remember an interview with Muhammad Ali, and he was asked who would win a fight between you and Mike Tyson. He said Tyson. That's the reason why I thought you might say Tyson as well. No. His response was Tyson because he's gonna just smash him.
Muhammad Ali fought Tyson in his era. The guy's name was George Foreman. George Foreman was knocking everybody out, and Muhammad Ali did exactly what you saw in Tufan, exactly what he said. All right, go ahead, come at me with your best shots, big boy, because just because you're stronger than me doesn't mean you're a better fighter than me, doesn't? And he ended up beating him again. That's the difference. That's why they call it the sweet science in boxing. Just because and that's what I loved about the movie Tufan. It showed that, you know what I mean? Where you could be a great street brawler, you could be strong. That don't mean you could box, cousin. And I'm gonna lay you out using my skill. Mayweather or Pacquiao? Let me first qualify by saying this. I know Mayweather personally. We worked out at the same gym, and he wouldn't I've met him several times. We worked out at the same gym. Top Rank is one of the bigger gyms here in Vegas, and he's not a very nice person. Let's just put it that way. He's not a very nice person. Just his demeanor. I remember being in the gym, and he would get there with his team at Top Rank, and now everybody's got to go. So you could be in the middle of your workout, and now, all right, everybody got to go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you serious? So I don't agree the way he carries himself. With that being said, Mayweather is probably the greatest fighter of my generation. The guy's record is unblemished. He's the closest he ever came to losing a fight was when he fought a guy named Castillo, and Castillo gave him the business, but Mayweather still, in my opinion, won that decision. But Mayweather fought so many champions, from a Sugar Shane Mosley to Zab Judah, Oscar De La Hoya, Pacquiao. And I mean, the guy is 51 or 50-0, whatever. If you even want to count the stuff outside of boxing, he's the greatest fighter of our generation. And I'll tell you right now, personally, as a human being, as a fighter, I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? I get it. I know who you are, but everybody in here is a man. Everybody in here is an athlete. We all pay our gym fees. And just the way he carried himself and treated other fighters, I did not like. But that's just, unfortunately, my opinion.
Fair point. There's a comment here by Shay saying, Asjad, show some respect for South Indian cinema. I know they produce great films. I just didn't know which bracket fell into. But thank you for that.
Oh, the 100's about to start.
Yeah, I was just going to say the match is about to begin. London Spirit are bowling. You've got James Vince on strike. You've got Muhammad Nabi about to bowl. And yeah, the Pakistan-West Indies game might actually be a 5-over match at this rate. Which will be pretty funny. Where are we? There's a couple.
He said it's going to be a 5-over match. You're out of control, man.
Larwood or Tyson or Thompson or Akhtar, who was faster? I think Thompson was probably the fastest. This is John Henry asking. So I think from what I've seen, from what everyone's actually said, I think Thompson was faster in every means at the end of it. So yeah, I'd say Thompson. First ball is a dot ball. Interesting. Nice. Right. So watch it. Are you have you got the 100 game on?
Yep, I'm in it right now. And is that well, why are you so far ahead of me? Because I'm
gonna pause.
I'm waiting to see the first ball right now.
Yeah. I've just had the second one, so just let me know when the second ball is done.
So I just saw the first one. There was a dot ball right there. Owen Morgan trying to captain his team to a win. Muhammad Nabi is currently bowling. And 2 dot balls in a row.
All right, fine. Yeah, we're at the same place now, which is great.
So I'm not sure how much you've seen of all the teams.
I've seen about half of the matches. And I just haven't been able to cover anything about the 100 because there's a lot of games throughout the day, and it's every day. And I kind of lost. And obviously with fatherhood, not the Kevin Hart movie, I'm talking about like actual fatherhood. It's a slightly different take, and now I understand why you guys obviously couldn't stream every single day. It's a taxing task.
Oh,
so
definitely.
I really commend you guys, like how you guys try and make time, like 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. It's great. So
yeah, when real life comes in, it's so hard to do. That 5-over match will be a nightmare for Pakistan.
Yes,
God help us.
Yes, that's the issue, right? They're already 15 of the first 1.2 overs. They're gonna get to 60. Pakistan can't get 60 in 5 overs. It's almost impossible for Pakistan unless they just come out swing. Every single guy comes out.
It won't be a 5-over match though, right? They'll at least do 10 overs.
Let's see if they're able to take the covers off and it's dry enough for them to start the game and no rain, etc., etc. There's still almost 80 minutes till the match has to be officially called off if it goes past that time. So we'll have to see. Gabe. But
5 overs. Oh, that's. Oh man.
Oh man. Right. Okay. So that is the first 5 balls gone, at least from my end. From Muhammad Nabi's first set of 5, not an over, but a set of 5. And they're 4-4-0. And he's continuing on to ball the 10. Well, how do you like this rule, by the way? A bowler can bowl potentially 10 balls in a row.
I do. And you saw it the other day used against the Trent Rockets, where a bowler used the first 5 balls, I forget who it was, to set up, I'm gonna stay here, and then the next he came and got the wicket, got him popped straight up in the air. So, or I think he clean bowled him out. So I do.
I'm actually impressed with some of the new innovations in the 100. I'm not a big fan of the format. I must say T20 for me, I prefer, but it's good for getting newer people into the sport. It's good for, especially if you look at it as the women's competition. I think that is
nice fielding,
almost as good as the WBBL in terms of the way it's set up and it's promoted and stuff. So the viewership for that is actually quite high in the UK. Even these games, the viewership's great, and I'm enjoying the matches. It looks like, it's a bit of fun. Like, no one's gonna adapt this format. I've said this 5 times in different videos, and I want your take on it. I think this format's gonna die in 5 years. I think 2026 is probably the last time we're gonna see the 100. But what do you think? Do you think it's gonna be sustained? Because the big reasons are last year, COVID and all that stuff. But when COVID wasn't there wasn't a long test series to be played. Mm-hmm. This year, they've kind of put it in a place that the big half of the 100 will have a lot of the big players, but then they'll go away and play the India-England series. But from next year, there's going to be test matches. There's going to be series happening in England around the same time. And a lot of the English players won't be able to play. A lot of the West Indian players, some of the big overseas players, they might not be able to play because they might be touring England for some sort of reason. Maybe they're playing in the Caribbean. Maybe they're playing somewhere else. So, that's a good shot. That's a good shot by QDK of the Mumbai Indians.
Quentin de Kock, he almost got caught there. It was almost a wicket.
It just bounced in front of him as well. And 11-0 in the first 10 balls. But yeah, I think that's why it's going to die in
Here's the thing. I think this format is probably more conducive for a TV product because it moves quicker. So I think here in America, and this is just this American-centric view, which I actually appreciate about sports in other countries where it's not so much about the TV timeout and commercials and this and that and sponsors. Like, that's all sports is about here. So I think America may adopt it. So that's the only reason I think it may survive, because America may adopt it. You see, we're starting to take cricket now. And I know they're bringing the IPL and into America. Maybe they'll just change it to a smaller format because TV wants that. But I see what you're saying with the international game. And that's what I worry about. You've got the CPL. You've got the LPL. You've got the IPL. You've got the BBL. Now you've got the 100. You've got T20. You've got ODI. And you've got a test. That's a lot of cricket, bro. That's a lot of cricket. So you've got a lot of competition and a lot of players that aren't going to be playing all year long.
Nick in the chat, by the way. Nick in the chat.
See, I told you. He can't even say, hey, good morning, Gabe. Good morning, Ajab. How are you? No, it's, hey, Gabe, did you see who beat your Trent Rockets for their first loss? Heathen. Man, good morning to you, Nick. This guy, I tell you, unbelievable. They could have lost to any other team. It had to be his team. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. There's a couple of really nice comments there in the chat about the 100. What a shot by Quinton de Kock. Is that gone for 6? That's gone for 6.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gone. Oh, Quinton de Kock. Bro, this is why I hate the Mumbai Indians. They're all savages.
He's been in good touch since he left the captaincy as well for South Africa. Since he he's been pretty darn good everywhere he goes.
Who wasn't Sachin? I remember, Nick and I did a video about how Sachin struggled when he was captain for India. And I mean, there's a lot of pressure to that. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of players who are amazing, but are given the captaincy because the assumption is you're the best player, you should be the captain. But a captain doesn't need to be your best player. It needs to be your best captain, if you know what I mean. They have to be good at certain things rather than giving them the captaincy. And I think that's probably why they went with Sachin Tendulkar was taken away from captaincy. Asit says, Azad, do you think 5 formats is too much in cricket? I think, but for me, the main 3 are Test, ODI, T20s. Even T10 to me was like, okay, no, this is too short. And there's people talking about the 100 being the way cricket goes into the Olympics. I really don't want that. I really don't want the 100 to be how it's represented, how cricket is represented in Olympics. But there's a very high chance it is going to be, isn't it?
Krishna, sorry. I'm just so you guys know, I have to watch 2 different screens in order to watch the game and watch the comment. So if I don't see your comment, you see me looking this way or down, it's not that I'm ignoring your comment. It's just that I'm watching the game. And I'm not as professional as Alja. I don't know how he gets to all the comments. I watch your live stream, bro. Every single comment. I'm like, how does he do it? It's uncanny. But Krishna says the problem with cricket is too many formats: Test, ODI, T20, T10, and now the 100. Already this sport is enough complicated. They have to complicate it. They made it even more. 100 ball can replace 20. Wow, T20 needs to cut formats. And you know what? I mentioned that. I could see the 100 replacing T20 because it shortens the game. And again, it's a better TV product because it's quicker. And honestly, that's all TV cares about, being able to get it in their time, at least here in America, in that allotted time slot, so that they can now go to the next programming, so that they can get their commercial breaks in there and get their sponsors. That's how it works here, at least. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a very interesting. Oh, beauty! What a catch!
Oh, what a catch indeed!
What a catch!
James Vince goes. That he's a danger man for sure. Nick says, hi, Asjad and guest. How are you? I'm good. I'm good, Nick. Hope you're doing well. The guest is good too. I think he's enjoying himself.
There's that comment. I missed that too. He said, hi, Asjad and guest. You heathen.
Oh, man. Right. The question is, would you, being newly introduced to cricket in the last 2 years, if you had a choice, what would you watch? A T20 game or 100?
If I had a choice between the two, if it were the same players, let's say it was same team, it was if it was like 100 was adopted as an international, and we would have 100 instead of T20. I think I'd rather have the 100. It's just it flows a little bit quicker, and I think that the option of being able to keep your bowlers in there, multiple overs, not having to switch every 6 over, you know what I'm saying? It speeds up the game, and it makes it more palpable. With that being said, I would prefer tests, man. I love the test format, and I know I'm in the minority, bro. People are like 5 days. Yes, 5 days. I love it. Or 4 days. I love it. All day. I love it.
Test is great, and that's why I didn't want to compete with test, because to me, test cricket is the epitome of cricket, and then you've got the limited over formats that kind of like you could switch up. But for me, I'd go T20, and I'm glad I've got 2 people agreeing.
You got everybody backing you up. But here's what Mira says, and now me and Mira are gonna get into an argument. I hate that batsmen can't control the strike in the 100. Yes, they can't, and yes, it's not necessarily a game that, just like every other game, is trying to just make the offense or make all the rules to benefit the offense. I think it actually benefits the bowlers. You know what I'm saying? Why? For the love of Pete, give bowlers some love. Bowlers' lives matter too, people. Come on now. And you know what I'm saying? Like I love the fact that, hey, if a bowler's on a really hot streak, I don't have to wait till my next over. If I'm sitting on a hat trick, I can go ahead and continue my spell right now. You know what I'm saying? Give bowlers some love. Or at least if you're going to keep T20, at least take that rule from the 100 and give it to put it in T20. I want to see that. It does help the game move quickly, or quicker, I should say, and it benefits the bowlers.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment of. I genuinely didn't even think about the the batsman being able to control the movement in terms of that point, but that's a very valid point there. That's a very valid point. I'm really sorry. I was laughing in my head because Nick's being very funny in the chat, and it's just.
What, did he make another pun? Another dad pun?
Hold on. He would not.
Exactly. Jeez Louise.
The one is moderator Renell. It's time to initiate revenge for justice for Renell.
Renell says, "How dare he says the 100? Ban this traitor." And you know what? It's not even the difference between 100 balls and 120 balls. It's not what I'm talking about. It's the format, Reneel, of being able to have your bowlers continue their spells, not necessarily having to rotate the strike every 6 balls or every 6 overs, being able to move the game quicker and giving the bowlers a chance.
I think some rules from the 100 might come into the T20 setup, right? But everything else, I don't see that happening. If it does happen, I will come on to CFA and apologize for choosing T20 over the 100 if that ever happens. But it's unlikely. At least that's how I say it. I think it's unlikely that the 100's gonna get picked up like that.
And right now we're 25 for 1. 25 for 1. That's what I'm saying. Look, 21 balls in. We're like a fifth of the way done so far with this inning. That's what I'm saying. Look how quickly it moves. And I just think it's a better TV product, but that's just my opinion.
No, fair enough. I guess in terms of moving quicker, right now, I don't know if you know this, but when T20 cricket started initially, I think it was between 3 and 3.5 hours, and it was done. I think it was 3 hours, if I'm not wrong. And they had a time limit about how long it would, like, if someone gets out, you have to be at the crease by this time. Otherwise, I don't know what the penalty was and stuff.
Ooh.
But that's a good ball as well.
Test used to use 8 ball overs. Why did they go away with that?
Maybe too long.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, it actually gives, think about this. It actually gives the batters a chance when a bowler is on and he's burying Yorkers and wickets are falling and, now we got to swap out the bowler. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just maddening to me. Like it's designed to help out the batsman. Here's a really crazy idea. If I were doing it, bowlers can go their max. If your max is 40 balls, it's 40 balls. All right.
What?
If you're absolutely.
What?
Yes. If your absolutely. If
Hear
your
me
max
out.
is
The
I'm
bowler
sorry?
the bowler would be absolutely exhausted at the end of those 40 balls.
Would he?
Yes.
I don't know.
I would say that's like it's like the difference between a 100-meter sprinter or a 1,500-meter sprinter. That's the way I see it. If they're used to, if that's what they practice like all day, every day, if that's how they've been practicing, they bowl 40 overs on the trot, 40 balls, then yeah, I think that's possible. But the way cricket is at the moment, even in nets, right? I don't know about international nets as per se, but at least county level nets, you might have 3, 4, 5 nets. You're not the only person bowling in those nets. You've got some sort of break between deliveries. If it is that you bowl 50 deliveries on the trot and then see how it goes, and even at practice, you don't give full 100%. That's I know that it's about 80, 90%. And then in the actual game, they bowl like, 90, 95 miles an hour because they're giving their 100%. But if they can do 40 balls, that's like, if that happens, that's great. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening.
Or let's say, you've got a guy, and what, they get 4 overs in T20, so they can go 24 balls. You know what I'm saying? Go there 24 balls. Because here's what you see a lot of times. A bowler is dominant, right? He gets a wicket or, it's all dots. And then here comes another bowler afterwards and gets absolutely pumped, right? Gets absolutely, it changes the momentum. And I think that's what's the frustrating part about it. And that's what I do like about the 100. It doesn't break a bowler's momentum. That if the bowler is dominating, maybe not 40 balls straight, but 10 balls straight, you can do that. Let him dominate. Let him get those wickets. Let him get those dot balls. We saw yesterday 19 dot balls by Pakistan, right? That won the game. So don't pull a guy who's hot right now because his over is over. You know what I'm saying? If he's tired, that's one thing. I could get it. But not because it's the over is over or he's reached his ball minimum. And that's the rule I really like.
My favorite rule is not really a rule. It's just the way things are handled. It's a comment by Jay Joshi. He says, the DRS reviews are taken so quickly in the 100. They are, aren't they? Everything is on your screen. It's like, done. Right. Okay. DRS done. But when you watch like Test cricket, I don't know if you noticed, or any other format, it takes minutes, not seconds. Like here, 10 seconds. It's like, that's not out. Yeah, cool. Next, let's move on. But in T20 cricket or normal cricket, for lack of a better term, it takes a lot longer for DRS, and I don't know why that's the case. If they can make some additions from the 100, that would be my favorite. That's my favorite. Like, make the DRS quicker so the game goes on quicker.
So, not that, Gabe. If one batsman is on the strike for the set of 5, he can't be on the strike for the next set of, even if there's a single on the last ball. Exactly. Yes, no, get him out of there. Benefit the batsman, for the love of Pete. Having these guys farm to strike. No. Again, guys, I'm always in agreement for rules that are going to benefit the bowlers. Gabe, Pollard would love to hit 8 sixes. Yeah. And that too. Sometimes a bowler can get pumped. You know what I mean? It might benefit the batsman, but I think it will benefit the bowler more.
Yeah. This also, by the way, just to update you from the Caribbean, the game has not been called off. The only update I have, at least through Cricinfo and stuff, is they're still cleaning up the water. They've got the covers off, but they're just trying to dry up the ground because it's wet as anything. And I've got a bad feeling that it's not going to start for the next 20, 25 minutes at least. It's going to be quite some time before they're able to get it all sorted. But yeah, I'll try and update you when I can. According to Cricinfo, the last update was 11 minutes ago. And the last thing it has is, we don't know. We don't know it.
How many do you think they're going to miss? How many overs?
Oh, for sure. It's going to be like, I've got a feeling that it's probably going to be 10 overs max. I've got a feeling it's going to be 10 overs max. Because think about it, right? The match was supposed to start 2 hours ago. Well, just over 2 hours ago.
Right.
Okay. Then there were delays, rain, and all that. There's been 1.5 overs, but 1.2 overs bowled. And then if the game starts in, let's say, half an hour from now, that's 3 hours gone, Gabe. That's 3 hours done.
Wow.
So 3 hours means what, 40 overs or something like that? Usually. So I call
up
that
in the air and
come on, catch
gone.
it, someone. And he's taking it. The keeper takes it. Good catch.
Cullen gets Quentin de Kock. 27 for 14 though, still really good. A really good strike rate. And again, de Kock came in and was on fire. Right now, they're a little over a run of ball. They're 36 runs, 31 balls. Great ball there by Cullen.
Yeah. Shay, where is Archer? Archer's still injured, so he's not playing.
Yeah.
Nick says the last update I saw on the ICC website said that TR lost the beat. Oh wow. Please read Nick's comment, Gabe.
No. How do I ban him? How did I end up banning Renil? Remember that? Accidentally, Renil. Han, I don't know what happened to Han. I gotta.
Han came back with a bang. I saw him a couple of days ago. I saw him today as well.
Yeah, he's here earlier.
Great news. Han.
The last update I saw on the ICC website said that Trent Rockets lost to BRM. They called it game of the season. Stop it. That's just it.
Oh man. Well, I mean,
now actually, where is Renil says it's abandoned, guys. Come on, no more play today. Are you serious? No.
I haven't seen an official statement, but because she probably knows how long it's gonna take to dry everything off, it seems unlikely. Because
if it's abandoned, though, that's actually good for Pakistan because you can't lose the series. You already won one game.
Secretly, that's what I was hoping for. 58 minutes. In 58 minutes, if play does not start, the match is abandoned officially, right? So 58 minutes, that's all we have. 58 minutes.
That is hilarious. Hilarious.
There's a comment here I saw a couple of minutes ago, and I can't find it now. Let me just see. I saw that. That was pretty funny. Renal says, my 89-year-old grandma says hello to Nick.
And Nick responds, what's up, Grandma? So honored to get a hello from you. Colin this is what I'm saying. Look at this spell by Colin. I'm not pulling them. Right now, 3 runs. No, still 0 runs, sorry, on 3 balls and a wicket.
Turning point, it's still water, okay? Inside as well, just to clarify. I don't drink and watch. So unfortunate that Pakistan cannot make their strong winning playing 11 even within this series. They have to wait for New Zealand T20 series now. Yeah, that's happening. Or the Afghanistan one. Even the Afghanistan games would be interesting because Afghanistan, yes, those matches will be in Sri Lanka. Afghanistan is going to give Pakistan some sort of run for their money, especially in T20 cricket. They're pretty damn decent. And who is this Cullen guy? He's great.
Yeah, he's looking great, bro.
Devin Conway gets a single, the leg by, but gets a single off the last ball of this set of 5. See, This is where I get really not confused, but I find it very difficult to articulate because I'm like, oh yeah, the end of the over is coming up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, we're gonna keep bowling. I'm like, no,
keep bowling. So now now Cullen should stay on strike. Go after Davies. You're good. You got yourself a wicket. You've given up 2 runs in 5 balls and got a wicket. That's what I'm saying. This is what I guess this is what I like about this format. It puts the bowler in the position to continue if he wants to, which Cullen is doing now, and continue to dominate for once. You know what I mean? And I know that's why I like the 100 guys, because for once bowlers aren't treated like redheaded stepkids. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly. Look at that. 6 balls, 2 runs, and a wicket. Even if he doesn't get another wicket, this is a dominant spell. Let him continue to dominate.
Oh, his bat flew out of his hand. Where's the ball
That's
going?
up in the air.
Oh, that's dropped. Oh, that's dropped.
Oh my God! That was another wicket, you heathen! Oh my gosh!
Wow. Turning point, no problem, man. Now I understand what you were saying. Thanks for that.
That's terrible, guys. So let me tell you what happened. It was such a great ball by Cullen that the batsman dropped the ball, the bat. It's a sitter. He's sitting under it, and he drops it. What was that? Third leg back there?
Fine leg.
Fine leg back there. Like It was a sitter. He was waiting for it. Oh my! That was horrible.
All around.
Look at another dot ball. Another dot ball.
8 balls, 5 of them are dots. So he's bowling really well.
And he technically should have 2 wickets right now.
Yes, he should.
That's why I love this format, that you can continue to throw your bowler out there. But that was embarrassing. You should be embarrassing yourself. Who dropped that?
I'm checking his name. It's one of the English players. That's how professional I am with the 100. See, another thing with the 100, it's a lot more difficult to kind of keep track because they don't have the same graphics, if you know what I mean. So if anyone dropped a catch in a normal game, they would automatically show their name at the bottom.
Yes, embarrass them.
Right?
Blow them up.
They don't in the 100.
No. That's something I don't like about the 100. Attack the players.
When do you think we'll get the first 200 in a 100 match? That's a good question. I don't know if someone's asked that. Someone said something along those lines. Do you think someone's going to get 200 in this?
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. There'll be not often because it's only 100 balls, but you'll see a 200 score because there's some bad bowlers. You know when you're going to see the scores really go up? Once teams start losing a lot of their international players that are going to go play tests, and you're going to see some, you see some shaky bowling out there.
There's a really nice discussion I had with the cricket connoisseur on my channel. I haven't released the video yet, but basically we talk about, the fact that right now in England, you have the ODI domestic. That's an amazing over, by the way. 10 balls, 4 runs, 1 wicket. Should have been 2.
Should have been 2. What a spell. What a spell. And I think that's another thing I like about the 100, how low the scores are. Because, again, the bowlers get to dominate the game, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And correct me if I'm wrong, the highest score has been like 160-something. But the scores are averaging like 130, 140. You know what I'm saying? And, dude, that's awesome. Set, not over. I know. We're trying to get used to it, KO Raul. Look. You wash your mouth out with soap. Oh, I know what that emoji means. He said, set, not over. Wow. Set. In that set of 10 balls, he should have had 2 wickets, only got 1, but ended up giving up 4 runs when it should have been 3 because somebody didn't catch a sitter.
I'll tell you this, Gabe, just if this was Azjad from 10 years ago, I would say actually it's 1.4 overs and he still has 2 balls remaining, but he's just decided to stop bowling. But I won't say that now. But yeah, it's good. It's just a run a ball. Genuinely, it's 41 of 40 balls, and Cullen's over was
amazing.
Cullen's set of 10 was amazing. Sorry, I made
his set of 10. There you go. Was amazing. I like this comment right here, Chatil. People want 6s and 4s, not dot balls. What people? Okay? What people? I love me some wickets. I love me some dots, all right? Gosh, guys. Those bowlers have feelings too. You know what I mean? Come on. Undicat is not the same.
Maybe they like seeing this emotion.
Yeah.
With their necks.
Bro.
They're back in the attack.
Stuart Broad can't even look at a white ball anymore. He was traumatized last time. Who was it? Yarbran Singh that pumped them for 6 sixes?
Yeah, Yuvraj Singh.
You know what I mean? Like bowlers' lives matter too, people. Come on.
Nick says the same people who aren't your friends, Gabe. Last part.
Everybody. How dare you?
right? I've just gotten the message that my battery is running low, so I'm gonna have to jump off, unfortunately. And the other game
still hasn't started. Ajad,
no.
I appreciate you being a trooper, hanging out with me, man. And
No
we watched a
problem.
little bit of USA cricket, even though that was disappointing. Looking at this field in 100 and looking at the USA cricket, even though we saw a great catch at third man, and you could see that the level of play is still, it's not at 100 level or IPL, but I would say it's at a domestic level. I think they got some a domestic level play. And once we get some better fields, it'll be a better product. But we got to see a little bit of that. Watching a little bit of 100 now.
Ooh, what a ball by Amir. Ooh, that was beauty. There's a competition I didn't think I wanted, but now I do. It's Amir against Conway. They're two 29-year-olds from both their countries, not playing in their countries, playing against each other. It was great.
Wow, how did that miss? What a ball.
As soon as the battery dies, just as soon as my screen is black, just assume I'm gone.
Got you. But guys, again, show Ajad some love. Cricket for Us 2.0. With his minute
much.
shorts all the time, his live streaming. Have a lot of fun over there. Friend of the channel, man. Thanks for hanging out with me today on this Sunday. Didn't go as planned, but I think that Ajad actually doesn't mind a rain out because that means there's no way Pakistan can lose the series.
And that's good news for me. There's no further update at the moment, by the way, according to Cricinfo either. So highly unlikely there's going to be a match. If there is, I'll see if you're still on. I'll jump on with you, Gabe. But if you're not, then obviously I wouldn't.
Bad angle. That was a bad angle there.
Oh, that's gone for 4, and that's the last ball of this set. Probably.
And I've seen that a lot of times. You actually see that in baseball sometimes. Instead of running like straight at the ball, you're supposed to run that at a diagonal angle so you can cut it off. And maybe it's not going to be a boundary, even if they get 2 or 3 off of it. You know what I'm saying? But that was just a bad. He took a flat angle at that. It could be a draw. Yeah. If that happens, then we're hoping for a draw. God forbid we lose 2. Are you kidding me? Seriously? That would.
My predictions have not gone correctly as of late. I never thought West Indies would win 4-1 in the T20s, and they thrashed Australia. I thought West Indies would not win a game in the ODIs against Australia. They won at least one game. I thought Pakistan was going to win at least one game in the ODIs. They didn't do that either. So predictions right now, not the best, but I predicted India to win 3-2. So let's see how that goes in the test matches. Thank you very much, Gabe, honestly, for having me on. It's been loads of fun. Unfortunately, I do have to go because this battery's great. That battery's great. It lasted me 2.5 hours. Didn't think it would.
Yes, thanks for your service, Ajad. We always appreciate having an actual cricket connoisseur here, a knowledgeable person, because when I'm on here, you guys know it's nonsense and ranting. You know what I mean? Ajad brings some legitimacy to the channel. You know what I mean?
You guys know your stuff, man. Honestly, nowadays, like I said, I'm a huge fan. I aspire to be like yourself and Nick for sure. So yeah,
I love this. He says, "Give Ajad a medal for putting up with Gabe." You have to, absolutely, man. I'm telling you.
Great, man. Honestly, last 3 balls of Nubby's set, and if I survive, I'll say bye after that. Otherwise, it's just gonna be Gabe on your screen. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Please, everyone who is new to CFA, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out Boring Reviews. Check out the final reaction. That's getting a lot of subs now, by the way. I saw recently it went past 400, 500 subs as well. So great job over there. And keep it up. And hopefully I'll be able to jump on any other of your live streams that you do, because I always have fun. And yes, it takes me away from
there.
No one heard that. That's fine.
That was a leg bye there. That was close though. I know they gave him a leg bye, but he missed the reverse sweep. Was the angle just too off that it wouldn't have taken the wicket there? Oh, and Ajad is gone. Mad love for him. Again, appreciate him hanging out with us. Gabe, did you hear that the Trident's name is dead? So sad. They are now the Royals. Is that real? Bye, Ozjad. Yeah, what did he say? Nick, what did he say? I didn't hear him. Gabe, which cricket players do you think would do well in baseball? Oof. Who would be do well in baseball? I mean, just looking at a lot of their swings, man, it's got to be guys that have quick hands, quick wrists. So Coley would, okay. He's got such quick hands, and Sky. That's why I love Sky. When you can hit the ball anywhere over the field, and you can hit those like effortless sixes or whatever. That's the guys that are going to do well, because in baseball, you've got to have really, really quick hands to be able to get those inside balls, or if they're going outside, get outside. So, and as far as the bowlers are concerned, I think the pace bowlers would do much better in baseball, because you need pace, obviously, in baseball to survive. And I'm not sure that the spinners would survive. You can't go in baseball and just throw curveball after curveball after curveball. You're going to get destroyed. Period. Krishna says, Gabe, did you ever watch Life of Pi movie? I did when I was younger. That's how long ago it came out. That was what, 20 years ago? Over 20 years ago, maybe. And it was okay. It was okay. Like Gale and Russell, Chris Gale, Russell, those guys that got effortless power would absolutely do good. Aja said, pull the plug, but back in the chat. My man, Jadeja would do great. He has a rocket arm. Yes, athletic guys as well would do very well. And I've even said at times, Jadeja plays like a shortstop in baseball. The way he runs and gets all those runouts because he's able to throw on the move, that's a shortstop play right there. Yes, Gabe, Rajasthan owners bought the team and name it Barbados Royals, but still have the same logo too. So Nick is now a Barbados Royal fan. Oh, nice shot there by Conway. Nice shot there by Conway. Gets a boundary. Am I lagging? I don't know how you guys get so far ahead of me. Yeah, Jadeja's a spinner, but he can throw. Yeah, I'm talking about position player-wise. He would be really good. Barbados are going to win the CPL now. Interesting. How long ago was Life of Pi? I don't remember. I know it was a long time ago. Crane, 5 balls, 8 runs. And yep, they went to Vandermeer now. Then they're not going to let him go. Continue the set. Let's see what Vandermeer could do. 2012. So, wow, Life of Pi was 2012. It seems much longer than that. Okay. Thanks, Nick. So is that just about what? Okay, why don't you play for American T20 League? Because I'm old and out of shape. And I couldn't pay. What did they say they're getting paid a game? Like $147? Well, at least in the minor ones, yeah. Oh, Vandermeer. Ooh, he almost stumped out there, Conway, but it looks like he got back in time. The Padres are now struggling. Now, Han, let's not make it worse by adding TC. And Conway with another boundary. What's a good score at Lords? That's tough. Gale is 42 and still playing. I know that, but he's a modern marble, Renil. Not too many 40-year-olds play. And Vandermeer gets Devin Conway. Vandermerva with a beautiful catch. Ball came right back at him. And Devin Conway dismissed. Woof. So right now, 68 on 59 balls, 3 wickets lost. I think that that was a huge wicket there, and they're in trouble. London Spirit may have just, we don't know yet, but that might have won the game. Van der Mura is from Holland. Is he? Nick, by the way, in the minor league cricket that just started, there's a team in San Diego. I was thinking maybe that would be a squad you root for. LA has one too. South Africa gets South Africa. The battle of the former South Africans. We've got a lot of talent. Oh! Put up the finger. No! Challenge that. That's a wicket. He missed it. Are they saying it's too high? Got update that it can still have a 5-over game. Oh, please let it be a 5-over match. West Indies needs a chance to actually win the series. Thank you for the super chats there, Sup. Thank you. Yes, a lot of South African talent. And it hurts, man. It hurts when you see some of your boys. Nick says, I'm always rooting for SD. Yeah, they got a minor league cricket team in San Diego. Maybe that'll be one of the games we'll be able to catch. I got to talk to you about it. Knicks were doing well before the playoffs, and then they ran into Atlanta, and yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Here comes Cullen back, and I like this now. You've got a new batter on strike. Bring back Cullen. He's been your most dominant bowler so far. Try to get yourself another wicket here. And here comes Grayton on, or is it Graton on strike? Yeah, the San Diego Surf Riders. That's the name, Nick. Max 5 overs if it happens. Ooh. And that actually helps the West Indies because I think they had like 15 and 1.2. Ooh. No ball given there. All right. So, guys, right now, 72 runs on 62 balls. So just only 10 runs more than balls and 3 wickets gone. And I really think that this is a decent. As long as the London Spirit don't give up a big inning, they should be okay. 35 minutes left for third T20. Otherwise, the match is abandoned. Let's hope that does not happen. Let's hope that does not happen. Get back in the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Bendemeer has played internationally for both South Africa and the Netherlands. One of the few players to represent more than one team international. I mean, from what I've seen, because I saw him against my Trent Rockets, he was pretty good there too. He is a good player, man, and that's what I love about the 100 as well. Is going to give different players that we don't know an opportunity to play as well. And he pulls it away for a boundary there. Good effort to try to stop it, but could not get to the ball. And honestly, I mean, London Spirit should be in more control of this game. They should have a fourth wicket. A sitter was dropped earlier, but we'll see what happens. Gabe, how often do you do yoga? I don't. I do not. I heard Tom Curran is really good at making coffee and fluffing pillows and not being Alex Hales. That's why Morgan keeps him around. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, Nick. Oh, Nicholas. 150 score? I think 130, Renil. 130, maybe 140. Oh, and another boundary. Maybe Renil's right. Back-to-back boundaries. Oof. Wood getting pumped here a little bit. Read Han Solo's comment. Han, which comment did you have, Han? Probably roasted me a little bit, just a little bit. Tom Curran was born in South Africa. Interesting. Nick's gonna get the Brahmi Army to come after him if he keeps besmirching the name of a Tom Curran. Baseball New York goes like this: Giants, Dodgers, Mets, Red Sox, everyone else. Wow, how dare you? How dare you? Even though the Mets are now, and I was shocked when I heard this on TV, the Mets this season have drawn more viewers than the Yankees have. That's how people are down on Yankees. That's embarrassing. There we go. That's good. That's great fielding there. Gabe, what's your favorite vegetarian dish? I'm not really vegetarian. From the Indian food that I've had, Krishna, I really like the biryani. I love the butter chicken. I love the sauce. I'm a sauce guy, and the we call it gravy or sauce or whatever. And oof, great ball there. I really enjoyed. Those were probably my two favorite dishes: the butter chicken and the biryani. Tom and Sam Curran are from Zimbabwe. Okay, can we do a stream, a baseball game? I would love to learn from you guys. You know what? Yeah, man. Maybe we could set one up with Nick to do a baseball game. I would say Yankees Padres, but I don't think they play again this season. I don't think they even played this season. We'll see what works in the schedule. He asked veg, and you're saying chicken. Yes, Sajid. I said I don't like vegetables. I'm not vegetarian. So, I mean, yeah, no, I didn't really enjoy the vegetarian dish. We had a video on our Born Review channel, or me, Savannah, Nick, and Jody had a whole bunch of different Indian dishes. And I mentioned I just did not really enjoy the vegetarian dishes, but I just don't like vegetarian dishes. Period. I'm more of a meat eater. That's why I enjoyed the biryani because it had chicken in it, and I enjoyed the butter chicken. But yeah, that's me, man. Oh, Nick, is this true? I like vegetables served with chicken. Yeah, that's the only way I'll eat my vegetables, if they're served with meat. The Brahmi Army and I have a negotiated deal in place. I stay off their turf and they don't talk trash about any of the players, and they promise not to get me, but they don't consider Tom Kerr an actual player. Wow. Oh my. So Joe Root is off limits, right? You're not allowed to be smirched in the name of Joe Root. But the Currens are just, Tom Curran is open day, right? Oh man. Oh, Nicholas. And there's a wicket. Joe Denley with a catch. Grayton is dismissed. 90 runs though now. 90 runs on 72 balls. It's guys, they still got 28 balls left. I think Renil is right. It's probably going to be 150 plus score. That drop wicket was so huge. Salads. Yeah, I eat salads. It's just not like, you know what I mean, the main dish I would go to. Okay, what do you think of Marvel fans wanting every character under the sun to appear in the next Spider-Man movie? They want the multiverse, brother. They want the multiverse, but I'm one of those Marvel fans, man. I want everything, dude. I'm horrible. I'm actually excited though about the new Suicide Squad movie. It's getting great reviews. They're saying it's the best movie DC has had since The Dark Knight. So I'm really hyped for it now. If he shows up, Chatel, he didn't last time. The Sixers didn't need it at all. Nick's continuing conversation with somebody in there. I missed. Come on, Gabe. We want a 200 score. People watch when Twitter trends. Players are making 100s off 30s. Don't see Twitter for wickets falling. Yeah, you're right, Sajid. I get it. It's just, you guys got to know I'm biased, though, because my son's a pitcher. I was a catcher. Like, that's a part of the game. I get it. Offense makes fans excited, and it's good for the game. But, oh my gosh, don't tell me that's going to go for a boundary. Nice kick save there. It's going to go for 3 runs. I thought that was a wicket, man. But runs away for at least 3. What do you think about Russell Westbrook trade to the Lakers? Nets versus Lakers finals going to be lit. I agree with that, and I'm disgusted at the same time. Because not only did the Lakers got Russell Westbrook now, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, but then I read an article that now everybody, Carmelo Anthony's willing to take a veteran minimum deal to come play with them. Who else that I was reading that wants to take less money to go play with the Lakers? Ah, come on. Stop ring chasing. Which superhero would be the best cricketer? Batman, surely. I agree. Gabe was a catcher. Is that what they call umpires in America? No. Oh, please. Umpires. The scum of the earth. Yeah, that's who it is. DeMar DeRozan, who could get a max deal in several places. Ooh. Almost a run out there. And DeMar DeRozan is willing to take less money to go play with the Lakers. It's disgusting. Superman will send all the balls to the moon. That's funny. Batman with prep time equals John Campbell. How dare you? And gone. Okay, this is starting to get away from the London Spirit here. And I thought once Conway fell, they were in trouble. And that's what see, we don't know all these other players. So we figure all the big names fall, and now the scoring is gonna slow down. But we've been surprised with some of these players we don't know who can rake, man. Whitley with a huge 6 there, and now it's 102. They still 77 balls, so they still have 23 balls left. Maybe 150. The score at the moment, let me go ahead and update that. Update it. I haven't even put it on there. 102 for 4, 77 balls in. Sorry, guys. I lost my feed there for a minute. I have not updated this in a while. So 102. The Brave. I'm just going to put SB for Southern Brave. SB. 102. Reverse sweep for a boundary. Oh, man. 102 for 4 on 77 balls. Uh-oh. Guys, 160 maybe? Because that's another boundary now. I didn't even finish writing it, and it's another boundary now. 160 maybe? Davies, 36 on 20. And oh my gosh. That should have been a run out. He missed the ball. If he catches the ball cleanly, that should have been a run out. Looks like they are really going to get a 5-0. Covers are off. Yes, Renil, let me know exactly when it starts so I can get over there. Let's go, West Indies. We need it. Gabe, in future matches, watch out for Harry Brook. He's 22, currently the highest run scorer in the tournament. It's insane for his age. Renil says 150. Mira, I will definitely look out for Harry Brook. Again, we've been impressed by guys who we don't even know who they are. And that's what I like about the 102. We're learning about new players. So 20 balls left, and they're at 109. I mean, at 2 runs a ball, you're looking at 149 there. I mean, they get a couple 6s, a couple boundaries, and we're looking at 150, 160. So, oof. Gabe, do you know all the medal winners named this Olympic? Because there are a lot. I do not. And I think that the Southern Brave are doing the right thing here. They're taking every single run. They're doing some really good running. West Indies are bad, but they're ain't bad enough to want Tom Curran just yet. How dare you, Han? How dare you? Tom Curran will never besmirch the name of the West Indies. Now, we'll take Sam Curran for sure. My man can bowl. I don't think Tom Curran is in the Sinister Six. No. Maybe he's in Nick's Sinister Six, not me. Yeah, Suman, Nick and I will probably go back again. We just haven't had a chance. This summer we've rarely hung out, to be honest with you guys. He's had his family vacations. I've been running around with Trey and then working at the same time. So we've been really busy. But we did have that cheese. I don't know if what was the name of that cheese? It started with a P. Prima? I can't remember. That was pretty good. Did you know Nick coached the winner of the Olympic shooting? He put a picture of Gabe on the target, and his protege got 100 bullseye. That's hilarious. And right now, they're doing the right thing. They're taking runs on every single delivery. And Southern break, Paneer. That's what it was. Paneer. Thank you. Yeah, the Paneer was great. I think Harry Brook was the highest scorer in T20 as well. And Harry Brook is an English player, right? Oh, beautiful scoop shot there by Davies. Beautiful scoop shot there by Davies for a boundary. And again, the Southern Brave looks like they're in control. Man, Tom Curran wins a World Cup for England. The world will come breaking down. That's funny. He's in the Superchargers. Okay. I'll check him out, Mira. Is he an English player, though? And is he a player that may make the English squad eventually? Because, again, I think players like Burns should be done. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. There's a couple players that just – we've seen what they have. It's time to get some new blood in there. And if they're not going to give Alex Hales a chance, then maybe they should give again, I don't know if he's English. Oh man, no ball. So now we got a no ball, which is going to go, I mean, I'm sure he's going to go for a 6. Gabe, Lakers pulled off a blockbuster trade. Tom Curran, Lakers, we want everyone. That's funny. Yes. The Lakers want and get everyone. It's ridiculous. He's in. That's not even going to be reviewed. Han Solo Brook will definitely be there. Did somebody answer the Brook question? West Indies would pay $1 more to have Osbert Lara over Tom Curran. As a water boy, would love Alex Hales to play for West Indies. How about that? We'll take him. Burns was England's best batsman last series. Yeah, well, I mean, England also hasn't been to full strength, to be fair. He's definitely going to have to show up now that Ben Stokes is out. Ooh. Alex Hales is good enough to play for any international T20, I guess. Harry Brook is not an English, but more importantly, is not only English, but more importantly, he's from Yorkshire. All right. So there you go. Inspection has started, 12:05 p.m. We get more information soon. Let's go, guys. Get it in. We need those 5 overs. 1.2 have already been played. We can't have 2 washed out games in the same series. Oof. The stumps didn't fall on that. I heard it nick, and I thought it was the bat. It actually nicked the stumps and didn't go. That's, wow. Shocking. What, they got super glue on that thing? And another boundary. Whiteley with a boundary. Woof. 125 now. 88 balls. Yeah. Yeah. Nick trolling me. You're the worst, Nick. You're the worst. Where is your comment, Nick? Ben Stokes said Harry Brooks will play for England soon. Nice. Hopefully Ben Stokes plays for England soon. All right, here we go. Tom Curran fans are like hoarders holding on to trash because it served a purpose once. Wow, Nicholas. And oh, Muhammad Amir gets Whitley. And that was a beautiful, beautiful ball. Pretty easy catch there. But they needed a wicket in the worst way. In a worse way. Gabe, please read Nick's comment, please. I did. You guys are kidding. Poor Tom Curran. Gabe, it is rare American society beating up children every day in life for studies or anything else, or giving up punishment by parents physically. Ooh, that's a very all right. That's a very tough question to answer, Krishna. There's a lot of different communities and a lot of different nationalities, a lot of different cultures here in America. So certain cultures have different parenting methods and upbringings for the kids. Overall, I would say that there is pressure to put on kids to do well academically or even in sports, but not as much as like I know in India, for instance. There's a lot of pressure on kids in school, especially at the collegiate level, and there is though. So it's a tough question to answer. Lords is a beautiful ground to play cricket. I agree. The thing that impresses me about Brooks is that he bats in the middle of the order and still gets big scores. Reminds me of A.B. de Villiers. And that's coming from a fan of A.B. de Villiers and Mira, who is a big RCB fan and has followed A.B. for a while. So that's high praise. So Davies at 40. Davies at 40. 10 balls left. Let's see what happens these last 10 balls. Really that last over saved this from being a 150 score, I think. Got a wicket, so let's see what happens. What's up, AJ? And full toss, he missed it. Only a single on that. Got to get at least 150. I don't know, man. Not just a single on that first one. That last over really, really killed the London Spirit. I mean, the Southern Brave. Another single there. Oh no. West Indies versus Pakistan T20 suspended, Gabe. The last one will be played on Tuesday. Oh, that's depressing. What's the score? Let me update the score. It is 127 for 5, and we've got 7 balls left. Run out. Oh. Nope, he got in. Wow. Southern Brave almost run out there, but he just got in. Great running by the Southern Brave, trying to steal every run possible. 129 for 5, and they're almost out of balls, guys. It's they got 7 balls left. And extra went over extra cover, but there was another fielder there. I thought it was going to be a boundary. Nope, they only get 2 on it. Davies has to go for leather. All right, here comes another ball. And, he tried a sweep shot, or reverse sweep shot, I should say. And right to to a fielder. Only one. Match is suspended. Match is suspended. 2 suspended matches. Hon, I saw the chatter going on between you and Nick, but I'm paying attention to the game. I don't know what happened, but whatever you did to make Nick a Yankees fan, man, I gotta hire you, bro, because that's some powerful stuff there. Nick hates the Yankees. So the last game is now a dead rubber now. Everything to play for. Windies draw the series. Pakistan can win the series. Yes, this is bad for the West Indies. And oh my gosh, a no ball 6. A no ball 6. Are you kidding me? Wow. This right here just hurt. That was a 4 actually, not a 6. So a no ball 4, and now they get a free hit. This right here really hurt. Free hit, caught on the boundary, but they still end up getting a run from it. Denley catches it. Denley's been really good out there. 4 balls left. 4 balls left. And the Grande was trying to take that extra run, but got called off. Luckily, he was able to get back in. So 97 balls. So 3 balls left. 141. Can they get the 150? Renneil's prediction. Can they get the 150? Gabe, not that bad. Win or lose. Prep for the World Cup. Agreed. Come on. Collins, 17 runs, 17 balls, 23 runs, 1 wicket. He's bowled really well. Oh, Davies tried a reverse scoop shot and missed it. Wow. What a set from Cullen right now. He tried to scoop it over for a 4. And, I mean, he just buried that Yorker. He couldn't get under it. And that runs away for a 4. So 145. Davies gets his 50. 50 for Davies. He's played a magnificent inning. And now 1 ball left. I mean, it's already a good score. It's a defendable score, so we'll see what happens. Gabe praises Cullen and this happens. I know, right? He's still bowling well. 19 balls. He should have 2 wickets, but there was a drop. 27 runs. 6 off the last ball. What do you guys think? And nope. Wicket the last ball. Nabi takes it. So he ends up with 20 in his set. 27 runs, 2 wickets. It should actually be 26 runs, I think it is, and 3 wickets because there was a sitter drop. But, man, 145, good score there. Good score there. And, guys, man, that's tough. That's tough. But, yeah, so far some good playing and fielding. We're learning about players, and that's what I also like about the 100. We're learning about players. I had no idea who Cullen was. All right. Oh wow, now I know to look out for him. And I think that this is also going to help English fans root for other players to maybe start getting on those international teams when other players aren't doing well. Like in India, you find out about a lot of these guys that haven't been on the international side because of the IPL. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what the 100 is going to do for English fans. Please read Nick's comment. Gabe will never let go of his Yankees gear. You got to have a chance of Mama Bear letting go of one of her Cubs. Yeah, stop it. I've never let it go of my Yankee gear. Gabe disrespected me. I gave him a gift card for his birthday. He used it to buy 2 Yankee hats. Absolutely. Oh, day, cousin. Did Gabe just mush West Indies and Pack Series? I would say it was me, Don Modesto, but I argue it's Ozjot, and here's why. 2 games have already been rained out, and there were 2 games he was streaming. One by himself and one with me. So Ozjot is now the rainmaker. He's the rainmaker. So this cannot be blamed on me. Fabian Allen is a beast. I agree. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. I see you guys all up in here in the chat, going nuts. Show featuring Chris Gale episodes. It's hilarious. Would recommend it just to watch, maybe reaction. We will give copyright issue. I'll have to check it out. Is Otani the GOAT? Otani is a GOAT. Not the GOAT, but a GOAT. All good, Nick. All good. Hand up. That's funny hand about the Salvation Army. Very true. You guys are out of control. Oh, man. But anyway, it's been a great morning so far streaming with you guys. Getting close to noon here. Got some school shopping to do with the wife and kids as we get ready for this week. I know that Nick and I have some streaming. Hopefully we can try to get another match in next week. I'm not sure what his schedule is like on Tuesday, but I'd like to at least catch my one West Indies and Pakistan game. I'll see what my schedule is like then, but we'll try to at least get 1 or 2 matches in this week coming up before school starts for us. But I'm so happy so many of you guys joined. And again, unfortunately, my Trent Rockets lost. My West Indies were on the way to a win, but unfortunately couldn't even finish the game. What are you going to do? Great job, Gabe, especially handling the trash talk by myself. Listen, I don't pay attention to the trash talk. Plus, you have nothing on Han Solo. You need to learn from Han. Han knows how to really just stick it to you. Here. We're fighting over you, Gabe, but Nick lost, so he's stuck with you. See what I mean? Oh, man. But, guys, Wendy's have played enough T20. It's okay for them to lose the final game on Tuesday. They should know what their combinations are going forward. I agree, and I know that they were trying to just find their fine-tune their team right now, but I still want to see a win. I need it for my ego. West Indies win. We'll see what happens. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. You guys already know the deal. I'll see you this week. Look out for videos on CFA, Born Reviews, and a final reaction. And until next time, that's 6 runs.